Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. We are live and back at it again, folks. It's a Feel Good Friday here at the Wrestling for Life Network. And we got WWE and a little bit of AEW tonight as we bring you SmackDown and Rampage back to back. It's going to be a fun one, folks. Get in that chat. Click all the buttons. Don't be quiet. Don't be shy. It's going to be a fun one, packed full of things to talk about. So strap in, strap on, grab your snacks, grab your Feel Good. And let's go. Ding, ding, ding. We are live and back at it again, folks. Like I said, we are the Wrestling for Life Network. This is another live stream. And this is another live stream. And we're live again. We are live more than any other channel out there, ready to bring you WWE Smackdown and AEW Rampage. Like I said, get in that chat, click all the buttons, be a part of the show, be a part of the fun, be a part of the family. Make sure you hit subscribe, click those little reaction buttons. They help the algorithm. We want to see triple digits in the chat tonight, which could be a big night tonight. But for the next few hours, you're strapped in with Mr. Every Night KJ White, the Iron Man of YouTube, and Mr. Big Nick.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Wrestling for Life Network proudly brings to you its tag stream champions of the world, the Every Night Delight KJ White. I'm Big Nick, and I can see the wings from last night are starting to take effect a little bit. They still got a hold on you, my guy.
Affecting the throat. 10 hot wings, 10 from hot to stupid hot. Sitting in the throat a little today. Feeling it. All the screaming, yelling, and wing eating is not definitely not helping the vocal cord.
Right. But other tag, we got to talk about the other tag team that's making news besides us. Put us, be humble for a minute here. Motor City Machine Guns confirmed that we're getting them tonight. WWE already put it out that they've signed the contract. They met backstage with all this. I'm a bit of the mindset of I would have rather just seen them show up on the show versus see them show up on Twitter, 20 minutes before the show. But how you feeling?
I like surprises. And to be fair, I missed out on whatever you're talking about. So I didn't know that it's come out. I've been preoccupied. So if it's officially confirmed, that is outstanding. We all expected it. I think most people were leaning that way anyway. I think it would have been a bit of unless you had something real big up your sleeve, it was going to be a bit of a letdown if it wasn't them. So it's official. We're going to get MCMG in the WWE. This to me feels very much like when AJ Styles, which we talked a lot about debuts last night, Nick.
Right.
I think this has a lot, that kind of feel to it of the guys that you never thought you would see. Jacob had that feel as well. It's kind of a really cool thing, and I do think it's something to commend this new group that's running things. They're very open to, if you're good, we'll find a way for you to be here.
Absolutely, and especially Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin being on SmackDown, being on the main roster, not going to NXT, which we had talked about before. And again, everybody leaped like lemmings, just expecting, because I think it was probably Meltzer, somebody reported that they were going to NXT, and everybody went with that's the plan. But yeah, to see Motor City Machine Guns in WWE, it very much feels foreign still a little bit, because you still see TNA. It's like you said, when AJ showed up, you saw TNA and everything.
Yeah,
so it's crazy that they're over there.
Well, and it's crazy to think. I mean, for a lot of people out there, and I know when they said they were going to NXT, we defended it. I know Bully Ray was out there kind of defending. Like, it made sense why they would go to NXT. However, if they're bypassing NXT, that's good for business too. I got no issue with it. I believe Meltzer reported they were going to AEW first, but he does that with everybody.
Wow.
So it's kind of funny. I mean, you think about Shelley and Sabin. I mean, Sabin going back 2003, I believe it was when he came on the scene in TNA. Like we're 25 years in the making. Like it's insane to finally see this happening.
Oh, absolutely. And for those who haven't ever seen them in TNA, be prepared. You're about to see one of the greatest tag teams that's been doing it on WWE television now. And this is a real big shot in the arm to their tag team division.
Huge. And we've been talking a lot here on the channel about, the resurgence of tag team wrestling, making tag teams more important, making the tag team division more important. And I feel like this is another step in the right direction to do so.
Absolutely. Make tag team wrestling great again.
Absolutely, absolutely. As I am seeing the some graphics here with the that's crazy. So okay, it's official. I think there's too much leaks in the business. I think we talk a lot about with TK and
Right.
even with Hub at times where I do like some surprises. I don't need some guy that's waiting at the back of the building that gets a glimpse. Like we talk about, one of the best moments we've had on this channel is Punk comes back to Survivor Series and they pulled it off. They pulled it off without anything. We were saying goodbye, bye everybody, and then
Right, really.
all right, okay. So I think there's a place for surprises. I don't need to know the spoilers. I don't need to know how the movie ends. I want to play it out.
Yeah, and I know it was very strongly hinted that it was obviously going to be Motor City Machine Guns, but still let it linger, let it still be floating around in the air. Is it going to be them? And then when you get that big pop, that what I would have liked a lot more.
Yeah, and I definitely agree with that for sure. So I mean, again, it's great. I'm glad they've done it. We're excited for it. As we mentioned, it is a huge thing. Now I'm seeing the video of MCMG signing the contract. But maybe that's part of the mindset with this one is like everybody knows. Let's just tell them. Maybe. Right. But go ahead.
I mean, at the end of the day, you just want to see them succeed, honestly. Whether Absolutely. They were going to NXT, whether they're going to WWE, it's a fantastic succession. It's a great accomplishment.
Oh, and you and I watched so much of the indie promotions over the last little while and such. And we saw Alex and Sabin do a bit more of the solo stuff going through late 2023, a little bit in 2024, before they kind of took a sabbatical from wrestling when their contracts kind of came to an end. So, I mean, we know what they bring to the table. We know we're excited for it. Some fans are going to get introduced to these guys, but again, a very innovative tag team. A lot of people have, cloned themselves after them and tried to act like they didn't. This is a good thing. And it's always nice when you see dreams come true. They've been at this for a long, long time. And it's that old story. Never give up. You're never too old. Da-da-da-da-da. Kind of what we do here. So, again, It's good for them.
Absolutely. Well, speaking of someone who won't be showing up on SmackDown, do we want to talk about Kevin Owens and his car promos?
Kevin Owens is fucking killing it. I don't care what anybody says. Rumor is he's very close to re-signing with the WWE, which I think is good news for everybody.
Right.
I love the car promos. I love what he's doing because it feels unscripted. It feels off the cuff. It feels genuine, right? Like, and I wouldn't even rule him out tonight unless there's proof that he's not nearby.
Valid.
I could see him still pop up. Now, apparently, Randy Orton will be here tonight, and he's got a message for Kevin Owens.
Message.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned, folks. It's going to be a good one. So, yeah, definitely looking forward to that, Nick, as far as what KO's been up to, what he's been able to do. And as an obvious fan of Kevin Owens, I'm really happy that, this is kind of going the way it is.
And they're leaning into like the contract talk that people know about, that if you kind of do know, you get where it's kind of playing with. And if you don't know, it's not taking anything away from it too, as well. Like I just watched his last one, he's sitting there saying about how after 10 years, I don't know if I want to be in WWE anymore, if they're not going to let me speak my piece. And Randy, you destroyed my trust. I would have never done that to you, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah, it plays perfectly. And again, I mean, kind of pulling back the curtain a little, he wouldn't publicly be saying certain things like that if he really felt that. Like, that's not something the company would be okay with. But under the premise of what we're dealing with, it works so well, and it's really strong. It's really really good job here by KO, and I hope he keeps going. I hope he keeps showing up. They keep cutting his mics off, and he's just a madman that just runs amok.
This is when Kevin Owens kind of gets to be at his best, of when he's just unhinged a bit. Like you said, he very much could still show up tonight. And I think that that's actually probably kind of likely if he just shows up and again, tries to cut a promo or he just snaps and attacks somebody and then runs off, what have you, as he's getting chased by security. Unhinged Kevin Owens, Kevin Steen is best Kevin Steen, I feel.
Yeah, I think so. But ladies and gentlemen out there, welcome. Hope everyone had a wonderful week. You did it. You put the whole week in the books. We are on Feel Good Friday now. Hopefully everybody's got some really cool plans this weekend and you guys are ready to go. I hope everyone out there is happy, healthy, and safe, feeling good, ready for some wrestling talk, and ready to get into all of this. A lot to unfold here tonight. Again, we haven't even talked about, we've talked about a lot, but we haven't even talked about Roman. We haven't talked about Solo. We haven't talked about what else is going on in the card. Cody's supposed to be here to say some things as well. So we're looking forward to it. We're about just over 15 minutes away from the start of the show. We will take a moment now to say hello to Sapna. Welcome. Hi. Hello. How are you? Welcome.
Hello.
Welcome.
Is it me you're looking for?
Don't worry. There's more musical stuff coming.
Absolutely.
Wrestling Crowd. How you doing? How you doing? Welcome back. Welcome back. You know what that means. MCMG debut. Again, I think this is it's cool. It really is cool, and we're pretty pumped about it. I mean, when I logged on today and I saw the comments, I mean, the first 9 out of 12 were all somewhat connected to MCMG. It's crazy.
Right. We should have thrown them into one of the questions last night and everything. Who's alleged to show up on SmackDown tomorrow night?
Yeah, who will debut tomorrow? Then what happens if they didn't? Then we'd have to throw up the wing.
Then you now have to eat then you have to do the fucking ghost pepper wing on the SmackDown stream.
For those who don't know what we're talking about, real quick, I will mention last night was our debut episode of The Wing of the Ring. Of course, you're looking at the King right now. Hello, how are you? How you doing? Put on a little bit of a beating, even though I still ate the wings like a trooper, which my throat and my guts weren't thrilled about. But hey, we got there. But yeah, go check that out when we're not here. Go check out our original content section on our YouTube page. We got tons of original content on there, including Wrestling Court and a whole bunch of other things. So go check that and our interviews as well. But we had fun with this. We're going to be doing it again. Shout out to Thoughtfully Gifts, who are the makers of the hot sauce we used. Big shout out to them. You're going to see them on the channel more as well. As we do more wing shows, we will be using their hot sauce, and they got hotter coming our way. So we'll see.
Yeah.
But yes, go check that out, folks. Support the channel, support the shows, as that's how we know if we should keep doing them, is by the love that you give them.
Absolutely.
Tag team back again.
Check it the record. Let's begin. Party on, party people over here. There's 3 words mean getting busy. Whoop, that is. Hit me. Whoop, that is.
Some words in there, I'm like, is that really what they said all these years later?
Yeah, honestly, I'm like, I just kind of made noises a little bit sometimes.
Right. What's up, C Money? How you doing? Tonight, Motor City Machine Guns in 1 triple threat against La Garza and A-Town Down. I do not know that that's true. I think they're just fighting La Garza, right?
I've heard that advertised, and I've also heard that there's 2 triple threats tag matches being advertised. Okay. So again, they haven't really officially announced a ton for the show. Like even when I pull up WWE's webpage, the only thing that they have for tonight for SmackDown is Roman comes face to face with Solo Sikoa tonight.
Yeah, like then Carmelo and Andrade 7.
7. We gotta see. It's not up or shut up time here,
right? But there it is. So the rubber match. I do believe the winner gets another shot at LA Knight, so that will be interesting. I do think that AJ being on the shelf definitely impacted how this was all playing out. Yeah. But less, this has been a good series. They haven't smashed us in the face with this is a 7-match series. It's just they kept finding reasons to fight, which I liked.
Right. They built the stipulation into the story versus this is just what it is.
Mm-hmm. But like I said, Randy will be here tonight with a message for KO. Well, this graphic now no longer makes sense, but
we don't know. It remains to be seen.
It's still technically a mystery, but
right.
But yeah, no, I honestly haven't seen much else advertised for this evening. But again, it should be a good card. SmackDown's been pretty strong as of late, so a lot of intrigue. The fact that Roman's going to be in the house, Cody's going to be in the house, so it definitely has a lot going on. That's for sure.
100%. And sometimes it's better when you don't have a ton advertised because it leaves more room. Like that's the thing, is that's where Kevin Owens could show up, what have you.
Yeah, that's it. I like it. I like the impromptu things. I like mixing it up.
Right. But Alexis, what up? Clay, what's up? KJ Big Nick, I can't wait for college football tomorrow. Clay's always letting us know what other things are going on besides wrestling. Damien, what up? C Money, how long before snowflakes object to the name Machine Guns? Are they going to call them Motor City Machine Guns, or they call them MCMG? And that's it.
Maybe they'll just run the acronym and never actually fully say, like, we know you're the Machine Guns, but I mean, I think we're at a point, like, grow up.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's the least of our concerns, I feel. Mike Rouse, what up? Boston, I've been waiting all week for this. Big Dog, what up? Christian, what's up?
I just said, what up, Big Dog?
Trek, what up? I've seen people whining about it already. I guess they don't watch TNA. Really?
Whining how, though? Oh, about the name?
Yeah, I guess.
Who?
Allegedly.
Who? Whose vagina is crying? Anyway,
Whoa.
I'm going to be back House of Glory as well, background tonight. There is a House of Glory show. We'll do our best to kind of peek at it, but obviously our priority is going to be SmackDown. We say this all the time. I wish the indie shows didn't run on Fridays. I wish TNA didn't do pay-per-views on Fridays. It's a tough nut. So, yeah, definitely we'll see what we can do with House of Glory, as there's some decent names on the card.
Yeah. Well, I still got the Yankees up, too. The Yankees playing.
Oh, the Yankers.
Yeah. Whoa now. Benicia, what up? Eric, what up? Hey, fellas, can't wait. MCMG debut tonight. Daniel Ramirez, yeah. Dale, OG, what up? Jason becoming a member for 15 months, shout out. And he's asking if we're doing Maple Leaf Pro this weekend.
We won't be here tomorrow for sure. There's probably a no, not this time. We'll probably catch them the next time.
Life sometimes gets in the way. We have lives outside of these squares. We do have lower halves too, as well.
Yeah.
Right. See money with all the emojis. So see, perfect fitting right after there to the pitch to folks. We do have the super chats, the super stickers, the memberships as well. If you want to help support the channel, and make sure you get your comment read, as we obviously take a little bit to get through the chat. But yes, and if you become a member, you can use all these lovely for life emojis and everything like that. So like C Money has. So get yourself some emojis.
Let's go. I don't know what 444 is questioning already.
No, I don't know. Maybe his own sanity. I'm not sure.
All right, I'm going to speed this up a little. But Capone 316, I see a Michigan boy, so he's happy. Wesley has seen, I see you. Welcome back. Dale, the OG, 11-6 for the Mets. The Mets on a fucking run. And again, I always say the Mets are never good. They're proving me wrong this time.
Well, they got to win so they don't get eliminated. It's MXC right now. Don't get eliminated.
Right. I like that reference. Trekopedia, welcome back. Unconfirmed belief was NXT, then the main roster later. Yeah, again, nothing. And we tell you this all the time, Nick, and you and I talk about this a lot. We are a more reliable source because we are giving you the facts. We are giving you what's happening. If we ever do misspeak or guess wrong, we tell you we guess wrong. But the dirt sheets, and a lot of them out there, are either quoting the same source. Like, go look at a lot of the things you follow. They're always citing one place, and that's a dangerous game to play, and a lot of them are wrong. I said Uncle Dave was wrong about AEW getting MCMG. He was wrong about NXT. They're wrong a lot.
Right.
Denisha, we got you. Cherokee George back with us. Good to see you. As we get a back and forth. Christian. Devlin, KJ, you heard about NXT going to the old ECW revenue. Evan,
Arena. I'll just say arena. You messed it up so bad it made my brain mess it up.
It says revenue. I read what I.
Yes, I know, but I was like, well, what is the word supposed to be? But yes, I did. Venue there. Yes, I did see at least that WWE was scheduled to have a show there at the 2300 Arena. I didn't know if it was NXT or not.
The rumor, speculation is it's going to be NXT. It would make sense, smaller joint. Also, recently came out this week, GCW going back to Hammerstein, which was an amazing show last time we were there. We covered it live. Plus, we had a nice little chat with our buddy, with a couple of our buddies from GCW.
Yeah, with Cole and Grim Reaper. Yeah, it was Cole's little promo video for it is how I ended up seeing that they were going back to Hammerstein.
Brandon, welcome back. Never too old to eat wings. Never too old. Never too old. Though I will admit, my insides aren't as fortified as they used to be.
See, I was solid all day today. Like I might be coming down with something
It's
else,
fine
but the
today.
wing stuff didn't affect me past literally like that night.
Yeah, you were awfully red. You held up pretty good.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm hot, yeah, but I mean, still, I wasn't, dealing with the bubble guts or anything like that.
I'm surprised they didn't wait for SmackDown for the MCG. And I'm surprised. Yeah,
Yeah,
I agree with that, Willie. I wonder what the thought process was. I wonder if they felt like the cat was all the way out of the bag already. So maybe this was their way of like, let's make it cool and special for those who don't know who these guys are. They have the afternoon to figure it out. I don't know. I wish they would have been a
yeah, but
surprise.
it wasn't. They only released it like a little bit before the show. It's not
Yeah,
like they did it at the start of the day.
fair enough. Fair enough. Who predicts gonna run amok on SmackDown? I think Kevin's gonna be there. I really do.
100%. I could see him just showing up and just causing a ruckus.
Right, Brandon, we got you. Good to see you. Boston, welcome back. Alex, welcome back. We got Willie. We got Brandon.
Yeah, you
Good.
got your Willie.
Be nice to your Willie. Hey, lads, love from the UK. We got a large UK audience, Ash. Welcome to the group. We appreciate it. We really do. Know it's a little bit late there, but we appreciate you joining us. Kevin, it's always a pleasure. Hope you are doing well. Welcome back. Welcome back. So we are about 7 minutes away from the start of the show, and roll call gets longer every show. I love it. Ken, good to see you. Roddy, good to see you. Who else? Damien, the leader of the Hopium tribe. I think we said you. 1, 2, 3 kid, Detroit hometown boys debut. Let's do it. Is it possible that Meltzer was piggybacking off Dutch Mantel, suggesting the MCMG debut should be on NXT? Nobody knows what is behind Meltzer other than bullshit.
You took the words out of my mouth.
The Tank, welcome. I think that's a new name in the chat. Thank you for joining us, The Tank.
But to follow up real quick on that point and everything, it could very much be that Meltzer's sourcing stuff, and it's more of just, I inferred this from what someone suggested, and that might be what they do. So again, Meltzer could use that as a source. We don't know what Meltzer's actual sources really are, except for like Jericho and the Bucks. Pretty sure that those are his sources.
Yeah, and TK a little bit. And I mean, I think part of it is he just thinks it, therefore he writes it as fact. And that's what bothers me a lot about not just him. There's other ones that do it too, of like when we theorize about something, we don't go to the internet and say, guess what's happening next week. Everyone knows we're just theorizing, we're spitballing, we're thinking out loud. And they reported like, I'm a reporter. I don't check facts. I don't check sources. I don't talk to the people that are involved in the story, but I'm a reporter. Fuck off.
He sounded like Don Callis. I saw a quote from him today saying that there's because I saw a quote from him today to where he said that there's no journalist in wrestling.
I agree with him. That was one thing that Don Callis has said in a long time that I was like, right on.
Right.
Don, welcome back. Good to see you. Good to see you. Can we see your lower pardon? Pause. What?
Whoa. Now you gotta at least give me like $2. $2 make you holler.
Right. Jesus. Odds, what's up? How you doing? Brandon, we got you. Saffit's back with us. And then, of course, Spaz with the super chat, throwing out the Kiggy Jigs and Nick Grande. No lies, I had a shit day today. You guys are part of the getting better. Bad days don't defeat us. Also, what are your thoughts on NXT maybe going to the old ECW arena? So we kind of touched on that. That would be super cool venue. I like NXT doing the small venues. It's what AEW should be doing, to be honest. But I'm glad we could help anybody's day. If you had a bad day, remember, we're the wrestling friends you can't find in your real life. The wrestling might suck. We never do. Just come hang out. We'll make you laugh.
Absolutely.
Yeah, UFC friends. Who do you got? Holloway or Tupira? I think that's how you say it. Max. I never bet against Max. I know Max doesn't always win, but I never bet against Max.
Max is never out of a fight. Until the bell rings, the last bell rings, he is never out of a fight.
And his last fight was one of the biggest pops in UFC history. So,
the man's already whooping his ass. It just says, no, we're going to settle this right here if they've been slugging it out. Yeah.
But no matter, I will not bet against Max. Like you said, he's always in it. I don't care who he's fighting. He could be fighting King Kong next week. I won't bet against Max.
Right.
The tank. I'm eating some tacos right now. Right on. Tacos are yummy. Who won the wing contest? I don't know.
I don't know who might be the one bragging. Who's the one that hosts
I didn't
everything?
brag.
I don't know.
Did I brag?
You were saying how you were the king and everything earlier, but yes, no, AJ very much won it. We had some. Me and Anthony at one point had to gang up on this man to try and take him, humble him a little bit after he sits there and starts us off right before we go live. Just so you know, guys, I'm not good at trivia. Proceeds to mop the floor with us for the first 5 or 6 rounds.
Yeah. Well, there you go. It's
sandbagging son of a bitch.
It's good to be king. It's good to be king. Keyshawn, how you doing? I get to brag for a few weeks. I like it.
Yeah, you're Simba now.
J1, welcome back. Yes, there will be 2 tag team triple threat matches with the winners of those facing each other next week to determine the number 1 contender. Thank you for confirming that. We appreciate it. Again, not heavily advertised, so it's good to know.
Right. Absolutely.
Bama Beard, see Eco's back with us. Chambers, Elimination Chambers, National Choir. I love that. I think you said that the other night. I think that's it.
We need that as a shirt. We need that as a shirt.
Right. Brandon, another Brandon is in the chat. Good to see you. This stream is the only reason that that's got me to watch all the Dynamite, because I love the chat during it. That's what we hope to accomplish here. And again, we watch as much wrestling as humanly possible, as many as our eyes will allow us and our hearts will let us do. So yeah, I mean, we appreciate that, Willie.
Right. Come on, USA Network, get rid of the NASCAR crap off my TV. That one halfway broke me there, yeah, because I got the end of NASCAR practice here, and this one popped me too.
Click it.
Anthony, what up? But Boston, I give you more than $2 every month. Lower half, please.
What do you want to see?
Right. I'll send it in the DMs, my guy. I can't show it on YouTube. We'll get taken down.
Slide into your DM with all the pics.
Right. Go full Diddy, I guess.
All right.
Brandon's asking your NHL team.
If you've been here for a hot minute, it's clearly the Leafs.
He's from Toronto, so it has to be. I don't think I have one. I think I'm just an honorary Toronto Maple Leafs fan just because of you.
Close enough to Buffalo.
Well, I mean, the Sabres kind of ain't shit. They've been getting better, but they still kind of ain't shit.
Right? The fucking chat kills me. Spaz with the question of the night. And I'm not answering this because I know Spaz will pay it.
Yeah, my guy. Man gives us a $10 bill just to sit there and say hi. Just everyone turn away.
Right? Some swoops for everybody. MCMG entrance music should be a shoot to thrill by AC/DC. Yeah, I'll be very curious to see what their entrance is like, what the graphic looks like. We saw the vignettes that were very Detroit heavy. So it definitely has me curious as far as what they how they'll present them tonight.
Yeah, 100%. Well, and now with it being in a triple threat match versus just a straight up, regular tag team match, could it be a bit more competitive than it is just like we thought with them going against Garza? If it was them versus MCMG, like it's going to be a pretty quick match.
Yeah, I didn't, not a whole lot of high expectation. They were going to dust them pretty evenly or pretty quick. So,
right.
Yeah, this might make it a little more intriguing. Hopefully that doesn't mean they're going to take an L. At least they.
I highly doubt. Because you imagine they do all this hullabaloo and here's an L. I got then.
You got then. I'm not on then at all.
I am on now, and I stopped it now.
Okay, I should be right behind you.
Okay.
1 second.
We're getting a lot of suggestive talk here with being behind us, asking for a nipple, showing lower halves, all of that.
There you go. Are
you on now?
No.
Okay. Anthony saying the only theme that it needs to be is Motor City. Could they just straight up use their old TNA theme? I mean, they've got the whole deal with TNA.
Mm-hmm. You hit play, and then I'll let you know what's up.
Okay. Well, I'm going from now, so I might be a slight behind everybody. But yeah. Did you guys check out Pierce Morgan? Keyshawn, what are we talking about Pierce Morgan for? Expound.
I have not checked out. No.
Right. I'd love for them to use Detroit, Rock City.
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, so we
Okay.
got two gentlemen bringing out.
Okay, I got the sky view, so I'm right behind you.
I'm stopping at they unboxed the Saudi championship.
Who cares?
They're
All
treating
right,
this
ladies
thing
and
like it's
gentlemen,
goddamn Pope.
SmackDown is going live. Nick and I are syncing up as I'm getting a replay from last Friday still.
Oh, so you're ahead of me.
Am I ahead of you?
Yes.
Okay, so I will hold up with Roman and Jimmy in the ring. Unless you refresh, then you'll jump over me again.
Do you want me to refresh? Because I have the sky view now.
Refresh and let me know what happens.
Okay.
AJ, you missed one more option in your poll. Hell yeah. So JV's super pumped.
I have Roman and Jimmy right now in the ring, and Jimmy's talking to Jay to Roman about the Ulafala. Which is another interesting thing, though, too, is could we see Jay show up tonight because we saw Jimmy show up this week on Raw?
I'm curious how this evolves. I'm very curious. Will it just be more talk about Jay? I don't know. I could see them progress a little bit. Remember, if we got time because we Survivor Series is until the end of November, Nick, right? November 30th. So we got time. We got weeks, and there are a few moving parts here. We think Jay's going to help out. What about Sammy? Who else could it be? Very curious, right?
Right. So I'm getting Jacob just hung up Jay on the ropes solo with the win. You there?
No, I'm still on the replay, right?
Yes, still a replay.
Yes, yeah, I didn't get the solo win, so you did skip past me again.
Okay, so I got Roman came out, Superman punch. Let me know when you get about there.
Okay.
But
TNA owns the copyright to the name Motor City Machine Guns. Would WWE have paid TNA? I don't think so. So I'm assuming they got some rights to that. I know Scott Namor was talking about when AEW had taken some when they were doing the crossover, and they just kind of were okay with certain people showing up at the TNA entrance. So right. But I got the Superman punch.
Okay.
With Jacob
another Superman punch.
Boom, boom, boom. Keyshawn, no offense, but Charlie Arndt, or whatever her name is the point of the show to the late WWE, when she worked there, refused to do work, and they showed up on ESPN. I have no idea what we're talking about now.
Well, it's because Keyshawn was explaining real quick. I'll say this as I've got them putting the Ulafala on solo, but Keyshawn was explaining his Pierce Morgan question earlier of saying they had Maven, the coach, Vince Russo, and Charlie Caruso asked them about experience with Vince, then asked about the New York Post writer Phil Muchnick. They buried him, and he came on the show.
Yeah, I mean, they might as well call that the Bitter Group.
Bitter Bitches Society.
The Bitter Bitch Club. Here we go.
But yeah, I've got Jay and Jimmy talking from Raw earlier this week, so that's 100%. Would be interesting to see if Jay shows up tonight.
Opening the show with the Bloodline, folks. You just let me know when you get that if I'm ahead of you.
Yeah, I've got the music. I don't just have them coming out yet.
There we go.
Yeah, I've got them coming out now, so we're perfect.
Perfect. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we got lots going on with this one. Make sure you get in that chat. Be a friend, tell a friend. We do want triple digits. We are 5 away. We were 2 away a second ago. Make sure we get that up over. We can get that to 150 tonight, can't we? Let's go. It's MCMG night. Let's go.
Absolutely. And now, do you think that we'd be kicking it off with the Roman solo confrontation, or do you probably end the show with that potentially?
Again, with so much going on, who knows? But at minimum, we are starting the show off with the Bloodline. And that is an interesting aspect of this, right? It's not like they call themselves the new Bloodline or whatever. They are the Bloodline. What Roman is and what Jimmy, that's the OGs, but we are the Bloodline. We haven't changed. We have taken over this. It's not something new.
It's like the Bullet Club or the NWO or anything like that. There's just a new version of it. What happened? DX is another example. And I like JV the SmackDown is now known as the Samoan dictatorship.
Yeah, absolutely. We could have an all Samoan SmackDown, to be honest.
We could do an all Samoan PLE, I feel.
So we're getting the Street Profits, Pretty Deadly, and DIY in one match.
Okay, interesting. 2 baby faces and a heel. I'd take Street Profits probably. Or no, actually, would you? Because then whoever wins that one faces most likely, we'd assume, Motor City. So would you rather see DIY versus Motor City or Street Profits versus Motor City?
I kind of want the DIY matchup, which some people might be like, really, but it just sounds more fun.
Yeah, that's the thing. I actually thought about that.
Dude, you hear this crowd right now?
Loud. Yeah, I'm making sure I don't got to turn down my TV. They're booing so loud.
Well, and they just instantly jump into the OTC chant.
Solo's really always Columbia, South Carolina. Acknowledge me.
Acknowledge me, and they just shit all over it.
He's gotten so good. Like, he's fell into this role really, really well. Like, I know we always kind of knew he was going to be good. Christ, it's that whole lineage. They're bound to be good a bit. But he's been a surprisingly well talker. Like, a surprisingly good talker.
He doesn't talk a lot, but I'm okay with that. Man of few words. It goes a long way. And sometimes in all wrestling, we see certain people get that mic a little too much, and it doesn't hold up. So I'm okay with him saying what he needs to say, and then
I was just going to say, speak softly and have a big fatu.
Have a big fatu.
You're looking at the tribal chief. Well, I liked how there's the whole difference, though, too. Like, they have very much like the mob kind of persona, like kind of vibe with it. Solo always comes out in suits when Roman was out there in track jackets and everything.
Right.
Profits versus the Guns would be epic. Actually, yeah, that's the thing, though, too. You get Montez Ford out there with like Alex Shelley. That sounds getting phenomenal.
I think it would be good. I just don't know if I want it yet. And maybe that's just me trying to pace it out a little.
Right. Main event girl just go popping off with OCT. It's OTC, but we got you.
Right. As we're starting to yeet.
Could you imagine Jay comes out here and confronts Solo of, hey, little bro, what you doing? Right. Bradley, what up? Hello, everybody. I'm assuming we're doing Maple Leaf Wrestling tomorrow.
You're assuming wrong.
Unfortunately, we have lives beyond the squares and other things that take place, so we will not be here for Maple Leaf Pro.
We are not available tomorrow, folks, and we apologize. We know we brag about how much wrestling we watch, but we will be here Saturday and Sunday next weekend. I work. Oh, so here comes Jimmy. Oh, it's Jay.
Now I got it. Jay Uso.
It's Jay.
I just said it'd be crazy if he came out right here.
Nice show.
Yeah, but and instantly everybody just yeet as even my green screen's halfway yeeting.
And the place goes bananas.
Jay just showing up everywhere. He's been on Raw, he's been on NXT, now he's on SmackDown. He's just collecting shows like Infinity Stones.
When people kind of shit on Jay, I kind of throw my hands up of like, let's watch what's happening right in front of our very eyes. He might not be your cup of tea, but he's over as fuck. He's being booked phenomenally. All the people, they're ruining Jay, including Keish. We're wrong.
Well, Keish out there fucking doing his own little backdoor version of Jay's merchandise too. He's out there, got his own Yeet shirts. But Cherokee George saying enough of the dumb Yeet crap. But it's over. It's working. It's the same thing like Steven Chambers do with the yeeting. Why? Absolutely. It's the same thing. It's just like the what chant.
Yeah.
Which people hate the what chant too, but yeah.
But again, we grew, like you and I, like through the heyday of really good wrestling, almost everybody had callbacks. Right? We still do.
I still literally kick off every show with ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. The Wrestling for Life Network.
right?
Which is just Road Dogg and DX.
But that's the thing. Like, if it's over, you gotta run with it. Like these people who say, "Oh, I wish they would stop doing." Why? It's fucking like. Did anybody like? I don't remember people going, "I wish." I mean, the old people like Cornette maybe, but nobody was telling Austin to stop eating.
To stop eating? When did Stone Cold Steve Austin eat? I would love to see Stone Cold Steve Austin just randomly go yeet.
Could you imagine Austin eating in general?
Right? But it's like saying it's like telling Hogan to stop saying brother.
Yeah,
at
like,
this point, it's just part of his vocabulary.
Like, what do we want from our wrestlers, guys? Like, do you want like just generic wrestler number 6, generic wrestler number 8? Oh, his work rate's good, but he has the personality of a fucking slug. Great.
We want them to get over, just not fully over. You stay about here. Right. Is it still that connection that it's Jey Uso? Like Jey Uso was never kind of supposed to be like the top guy or anything.
No, I mean, like maybe, but I mean, again, I get it. Some people just don't like fun stuff, and it's fun. The whole building. This is what Swerve Strickland should have been, Nick. This is what Swerve.
This is what Swerve was Swerve when I drive, when I swerve, when I drive.
You and I saw the indie show where they had the whole fucking building swerving.
Right. Can I get a hell yeet? Yeah. Why?
Can I get a hell yeet?
Christ, if you hate yeet, then do you hate yeah?
Yeah, like that's the funniest thing. I wish he would stop doing the yeah gimmick. Why? That is your calling card. That is your tag. Tag your shit.
Right. Oh.
I want to talk to you one-to-one. Oos to oos.
Because Roman's not here yet. Oos to oos.
Oh, he's giving him the big bro talk.
I literally said, I imagine if this is what happens and he comes out and it's just like, hey, little bro, knock your shit off.
Yeah, sorry, I was multitasking.
What you're doing to the family, think about what you're doing.
Ooh, that's a point.
Ooh. Theater, sir, it's fun. Wrestling is supposed to be fun. Yes. You got a star.
Do you know what's funny, though? Jay tired himself out on the entry. He's trying to catch his wind. He's trying to like.
Oh yeah, he's gasping. Hard to catch your breath while talking.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah,
he's even bigging up of I did that because of the opportunities the Bloodline gave me, all that of winning the IC belt. You deserve it.
He literally took a pause there and a real deep breath.
Yeah, oh yeah, I think he's very thankful right now that everyone's chanting "You deserve it." So he's like, "All right, let me just soak this in for a little bit."
In your nose, out your mouth, Jay.
Right.
We got this.
We need a cornerman right now.
The family's already fucked though, Jay. No offense.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, so
are you done wasting my time?
Yeet, yeet, yeet. Yes.
He's like Good's the rapper. Of like, that's the kind of shit I'll be thinking about while you're talking.
Right, main event girl, how you doing? Christopher Cox. Rumor is that Umaga returned before Full Gear.
Omega?
I said Umaga. I gotta get my shit together.
Rise from the grave.
I was like, wait, he won't cross him off the list.
Well, then just cross him off the list.
This one's dead. Jacob is so committed to his role.
I'm gonna do a whole stream like this.
And again, it's just funny, dude, to me about the Yeet thing, because like a lot of the fans out there grew up with this, right? The 5-knuckle shuffle, the you can't see me, the taglines. Like, I don't get the minute the building starts doing like and everyone's into it, that's when everyone turns on it. It's like bands. Like every time there's like a good indie band and we're like, this band's awesome. And then they blow up and everyone's like, I hate them. They're shit. They're not as good as their first album. Oh,
right, folks, just promise us that, when we blow up and everything, y'all won't turn on us and everything. You'll be the OGs from the underground.
Got 2 words for you.
Exactly. You are not the legitimate tribal chief. Usurper! Usurper!
There's a reason we stayed away from Jacob.
You're a big phony. You're a big fan.
Oh, I'm with you, boss, and I'm with you. Though I still want my Jacob match.
Oh, and they're eyeing each other up and everything. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. That's a match I didn't know I needed.
Raven should have been in the Hall of Fame by now. Travis, I really love Raven, but I don't know if I agree with that.
By now, not exactly. At some point, I do agree.
I love Raven. I really do. But again, like,
I think he's a Hall of Famer, at least. I think he's a Hall of Famer.
Well, anybody's a fucking Carmel's a Hall of Famer.
Well, yeah, if Coco could be where it can be a Hall of Famer, Ravens for fucking sure. But even just still what he did with ECW and everything, what he did for a lot of character work and all of that.
Yeah. I agree with Anthony. Anthony loving it. Anthony is wrestling proud, agreeing with Anthony. This was good. A great start to the show. Great energy. I know some people are going to be like, Jay can't cut a promo. He was literally trying to catch his breath because he yeeted his way down the fucking aisle.
Yeah, but now this sets up to where you should have Roman and Jay in the same locker room on the same night at the same time.
Yep.
Conversations might happen. Could you imagine if we also happen to get, one wise man that shows up as well tonight?
We're waiting. Dude, I can't think of the last time we have been this eager or anticipating a non-wrestler.
A manager.
Yeah. I don't even call him a manager, an advocate.
Yeah, that's what he is. He's a wise man. He's an advocate, all of that.
Right?
But yes, up next, we are getting the number one contenders triple threat as I go to commercial break here. So yes.
On the fly. Yes, let's go.
There you go. Man's doing all the things. See, that's why we say we're next level, why we say that we do it better than anybody out there. Often imitated, never replicated, duplicated, because we out here, pulling up graphics and making them up on the fly.
Woo-wee! Well, we are on commercial break, folks. The first one of the night. We are rolling through. Big kickoff this one. The Bloodline coming out, being confronted by Jay, and we'll see where this goes. Roman and Solo supposed to meet up at some point. We're getting closer. Right.
Although
and the easiest way to get Jay into the storyline, beat him up.
Well, that's what I thought we were getting close to there, because that now made me almost really want Jacob Fatu versus Jey Uso for the Intercontinental title.
Right.
That sounds very interesting to me.
Yeah.
Could that be a crown jewel match?
It could be. I just mean it would be very interesting to see what the fallout from it would be.
Right.
Like, if he won, does he stay on? Does he stay where he is? Does he move? We wouldn't leave SmackDown.
Then you got to move LA.
Oh, interesting.
Right. I want to see Jay versus Zilla. Well, they got to sign Zilla first. Christ, I think we're actually going to see Zilla on House of Glory tonight too. But yeah, Zilla's a interesting cat from what I've seen. Seems like he's a nice guy, everything like that. But the way he kind of moves, it almost feels like he knows he's WWE bound at some point. Mm-hmm. So he kind of just rubs people the wrong way or doesn't handle the business the best way outside of that.
He kind of gives me those vibes that, Jacob did up until recently, to be honest. But again, he's young. Plus, he's already, I think the hardest thing for somebody of that lineage is not to just expect, right? Like, I'm going to be a star. I'm going to make it because the path has been, laid out before me.
Right. But we're still waiting on a Hikaleo. We're still waiting on a Lance Anoa'i.
Where is those two? I know good English. Where is those men?
It was terrible English, but perfect Canadian.
I'll accept that.
Jada laugh. Spaz with a $5 super chat. Do we get any ECW old heads or TNA hardcore guys when NXT goes to 2300?
Probably.
And beats Dynamite again. Hashtag I'm not going to read it.
I know. If I get a triple-digit donation, I might show more than a nipple.
Oh God. That's not a challenge, folks. That's not a challenge.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. But I could see to where who else would they really have that could still show up? I mean, Taz is in AEW. Sandman, I don't need to see him anywhere near a ring right now. There's no one left from ECW really that could do anything, I feel.
Right.
Unless I'm missing somebody.
I
You get like a PCO or something, which that's more
he's
just
busy. I mean, he's
a
there.
hardcore guy.
Yeah.
You get like a Cardona meet. Oh,
Yeah, I don't.
could you imagine a Cardona?
Well, I mean, again, this Cardona situation is really interesting for me. I wonder if internally, now I'm just making this up, folks. I'm guessing, but I wonder if there is a bit of a disconnect between like his ego. Like he wants to be. I don't know. I don't know what's happening with Cardona.
Christopher's bringing up really good.
Tommy,
and Bully too. Bully's 100%. I feel like I forget them just because they do podcasts now. Like you're not a wrestler anymore, you're a podcaster.
The Dudleys are on a legend deal, if memory serves me correct. Tommy's not because he doesn't.
What about the fear I see in the back of your mind? Javon versus RVD.
What about it? It happened.
No, it hasn't happened. You're thinking of Randy. You get on my guy. You're thinking Javon versus the RKO. Them wings really fucked you up.
Yeah,
that Ghost Pepper had you tripping peyote out there.
It's not the wings.
I got the Profits coming out right now as jobber entrances for the other two teams. So I wonder who's winning tonight.
Right?
My money is on Street Profits, the only team that got an entrance. Sorry.
So this is interesting. So according to Graves, the second triple threat for the #1 contendership is next week.
Oh, don't you do that. Don't you do that. No, because they advertised them showing up. I know. I'm a fight Corey Graves, not you. But
no, but I still think that, so they have their match with La Garza, apparently. Los Garza.
Oh, so we just have a match? That's bullshit.
Why would that be bullshit?
Just add the extra team.
Wait, time out. They announced that they were going to do La Garza versus somebody. Then we assumed it might be a triple threat. But in actuality, it's the original announcement, and that shouldn't be bullshit. That's exactly what was advertised.
But just add the extra team, and it's the match. I get your point. I'm being petty, but yes.
A little. Street Profits for the win, folks. Get your votes in. 50% of the chat right now taking Profits DIY coming in at 30. Deadly on the back end.
Oh. Elton Prince out there just licking his hand after he slapped Ciampa. What the fuck is going on? Yeah, I'm taking the Street Profits for this. What?
I thought Corey just said next week. Y'all, the WWE didn't make this clear.
Did they not make it clear? Or are you misinterpreting? But who you got for this match, sir? Who you got for this match?
I think Profits. I mean, like you said. Wow, we're off and running though. Holy
shit.
This crowd is loud.
I want to know what Montez Ford's vertical is because, goddamn it, I feel like if he can play another sport, something he could at least be on a G League basketball team or on a practice squad in the NFL, just with them fucking bungees this man's got.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, everybody is just on fucking full speed right now, folks.
Well, again, we're getting that resurgence that we've wanted, that we've talked about of tag team wrestling for most of 2024 was T's and P's, ceased to be. And now we're finally starting to get more of an emphasis on it and more of a focus, and people are actually trying to have really good tag team matches.
Yeah. So, yeah, according to my sources, we are in fact getting...
Don't say that.
According to my sources, we are 100% getting La Garza versus A-Town Down versus MCMG.
So
there you go.
Probably like rewound.
Thank you, Corey Graves, for talking.
See, like I said, I'm gonna fight Corey Graves. I ain't gonna fight you. I'm gonna fight Corey Graves. As Pretty Deadly's got Ciampa right now in the corner, stomping him out. And now, yes, boys.
I don't like him. Something got
small package. 1, 2, dos amigos.
I went to commercial.
Yeah, that's such a weird transition to commercials. Of literally like right after a pin, hey, commercial.
That is.
By the way, I do hate that it's still only 2 men in the ring instead of 1 from each team.
Yeah, that's not my favorite way to do it.
It is a little. It doesn't make sense to me, but Montez Ford was an ex-football player. Fair enough. Where did he play?
Yes.
Where did he play? Ivar has NXT record for furthest jump, second by Montez. Oh, I think, well, if the slingshot from Joaquin counts, then he might have everybody beat.
I don't know
because that man got catapulted.
Yeah, I don't know.
He was fucking Gimli in the Lord of the Rings. You're gonna have to throw me. What? You're gonna have to throw me. Don't tell the elf.
Don't tell the elf. That's good shit.
Right? I'm not a nerd. We're all a nerd. Sorry.
Right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're on another commercial break. Right now, we're in the first triple threat of the night for the working towards the number 1 contendership. Street Profits up to down to 50. Not Street Profits. Yeah, Street Profits 53, DIY 27, and Pretty Deadly as I close this one up. So again, heavy favorites in this one.
Well, when they're the only team that actually got the entrance, it kind of tells. Like anyone that's watched wrestling for a while knows when you have the other 2 teams get jobber entrances and they come out just to the audience, not to the television audience, right? Kind of tells you who might be winning.
It's a little bit of a tip sometimes.
Right. Pause. Just a tip, just for a minute, just to see how it feels. Spaz with another $2 super chat. If I may, Montez versus Trey Miguel versus Javon versus Darby. So just all the springy guys.
And Darby's an interesting one because as much as he like flies off of things, he's not really a high flyer by definition.
He's not a good jumper. He's a great faller.
He's a great faller, not a good jumper. Yeah.
He's really good at falling. He's not good at leaping.
Yeah, he just turns himself into a projectile. He doesn't really do acrobatics.
I would switch Darby with Kevin Knight from TNA. I think he's super phenomenal. Or Leon Slater too.
Yeah,
we also have. It is really
kind
cool.
of mixing up the other day. So yeah, Kevin Knight, I think, would blow the roof off with those guys. Like if that was an X division title match, woo-wee.
Right. But as we're in commercial break, and you and I haven't had a chance to talk about this. Well, no, since we did the Wing Show and everything like that. But Marcolo, what up? The Bloodline storyline is the greatest storyline ever told in wrestling history, in my opinion.
It's close.
Bold statement, but we can address that. But if you say it's close, I think it's up there. It'd be hard to pick a one, but
it's definitely made its claim a little bit. But yeah, you were going to ask me
how you feel about now that we had the fallout from Wrestle Dream and everything like that, Moxley and the White Bull Combat Club and everything like that. Because I saw bits of it. I watched some of it. I will admit I didn't watch the full Dynamite, but I saw, especially like I saw the truck promo, and then even at the end when they're tearing out everything apart, and then you get the backwards handspring, and then Moxley just throws an elbow.
That was awesome.
Pure shit.
As we are back to the holy shit, we came out of the on fire.
1,
Johnny.
2. Terrible time for a question, but yeah.
Well, we'll get back to that. I was pretty honest with my opinion. And the short answer is there's stuff I really like about it. And then there's stuff that is AEWing it up.
Fair enough.
That's the easiest answer I can give you at the moment, as this is nonstop action in this ring right now, folks.
Absolutely is. Ciampa just gets tossed in a forward by Dawkins. Oh, deadly toss out. The Street Profits. 2 count. Gilly's saying, nah, NWO and Dio and DX were 100% better. Those were factions, not storylines, I feel.
Well, the NWO storyline is probably the most classic one that everybody references, right? Like the whole outsider story. Like, it was more
the start of it, yes. Yeah.
right? And leading to Eazy-E and all that shit. Yeah, I mean, again, that's a valid contender. Yeah, I mean, I think the Bloodline storyline has really staked a claim in a lot of ways.
It's up there. It's one of the best modern storylines in wrestling. I'll say that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, setting up the double superplex, but we're setting up the Tower of Doom. Super blockbuster. That's got to be it. Oh, DIY with a double super kick. 1, 2, 3. So DIY sneaks the win, the victory.
No. Street Profits got their arms up. Street Profits have their arms up.
Did I miss? Was Dawkins or somebody pinning the other member pretty
both,
deadly in the corner there? I missed that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. The ref's saying DIY. This could be a heel turn moment.
Oh, I think it is. It's got to be.
Yeah, Ciampa pushing. As DIY steals it. DIY.
I didn't see the replay, but yeah. It goes, though, still of what the ref saw. She didn't see the pin behind her. She saw the pin. She counted.
Mm-hmm.
See money, incompetent ref. You leave Ref Jeff alone. She's not. Yeah. So Ford was covering Elton Prince as
Ford was there.
Yeah. You leave Ref Jeff alone. She's not no Aubrey out here. She's not no. And why am I blanking on is the other name from the ref in AW. Anyways,
Aubrey or I always call him Rosenberg.
Remsburg, Bryce Remsburg.
Remsburg.
Yeah, he looks like Peter Rosenberg a little bit. He looks like mini Peter Rosenberg. You have Lil Nate and Lil Rosenberg. So DIY picks up the win and will be challenging the winner of the other triple threat later tonight for moving up in the number one contenders tournament here.
As we go back to last Friday when Tiffy was having issues with Naomi, Raquel gets involved. Naomi pins the champ.
Could we see? Well, Naomi needs to really start, I think, getting another title shot here, I feel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Big Dog Horseman did have a great storylines as far as NWO arguably greatest faction or say coolest faction ever.
Yeah, we'd have to go through and kind of rifle through some of the big classic ones. Horseman's a great one. We've had some really crazy storylines. I think, and recency bias plays into it. I don't know many that really were like dug in for the 5 years solid like this. Like, it's been a really insane run.
Right. That's good officiating. Coolest, I'd have to agree with Marco. There we go. Although Austin and Grayson's as well. What are we talking about? Oh, with A-Town Down. They could actually, would they be a sneaky one to win it?
Man, if A-Town Down wins it and MCMG doesn't, what are people gonna say?
Yeah. But I mean,
in this fucking everybody freaks out when they don't get their way or their favorites don't get the right booking. Are you fucking nuts? There's gonna be at least 2 people out there who are like, I can't believe they buried Pretty Deadly like that tonight. Like it's
but I'm just throwing it out there because they have built up A-Town Down as one of their higher up tag teams and everything. Yeah. But we are in another commercial break, so I'll pivot and I'll ask you to expound upon what you were talking about before with my original question of how you feel about Moxley and crew.
I think Moxley and crew's a really cool idea. I really like where they're going. I've heard other people criticizing Moxley's promos, but it feels very Moxley. Like, it feels like if you were hanging out with John kind of talks like that, like on his own time of like, let's just fuck some shit up. Like, relax. All right.
And Renee married that.
But at the end of the day, my big complaint is they're beating up the Dark Order. They're beating up Top Flight. right? Like that's the thing that's like eating at me a little bit. Of like beat everybody up, but we need some superstars to start surfacing. And the problem that AEW I think has is who are the big baby faces, the big name baby faces in AEW that are going to counter this?
Oh, there are none. The only baby faces left in that fucking company is the conglomeration. Everybody, every champion's a heel, every faction's a heel.
Yeah.
We're having heel on heel infighting of you getting the elite asked of, well, you're EVPs. Why didn't you do anything about this? I like Moxley's whole premise. I minus Wheeler Yuta for whatever reason. I just the heel turn fucking soiled him for me worse than before. But the fake heel turn and all that. But I do like the whole. I don't like where AW's been going, so I'm going to burn this motherfucker to the ground, and we're going to start anew. I like all of that and where they're going with that. I do get what you're saying of they beat up Top Flight, they beat up Private Party, what have you. But
well, there's going to be a trios match with the trios champs are going to take on Dark Order, I think, or Top Flight on Saturday. Like that to me is like, that's kind of hurting me a little.
But I do like the visuals even of I liked the truck promo that they started off Dynamite with. That was, I think, honestly one of Moxley's best promos. And
like
then go ahead. I was just going to say, and then they end the show with him running off everybody, and then you have the EVPs that are supposed to be the big bad heels just sitting there with their fucking hands in their pockets.
I will say this: the situation, Nick, has completely made the Bucks look like complete meow meows, as our buddy in the chat likes to say. They look fucking terrible. They look like chicken shit, garbage. They don't look like good baby faces. They don't look like good heels. They look like giant fucking labia. Like, it is not good. Like, they are fucking awful. The toughest guy in their group is Jack Perry. It's crazy.
Are you sure it's not Okada who says bitch a lot?
He's funny. And again, I would like to see them kind of hold, King of the Castle a little.
Speaking of King of the Castles, we got Roman Reigns and Jimmy showing up. Oh,
why is he talking about Travis Scott? Not even out yet.
He's in the inn and everything. I don't even think I ever heard that one before. That's because they're running into Jay.
Oh, that look!
Oh, hey,
good kill! Oh, Roman
I'm surprised Jay didn't do the get your hand off me. Are they going to reunite without Heyman?
They might.
Are the rumors true that Heyman might be the mole?
You, bro.
Oh.
If we were on another stream right now, we'd be crying.
I always wanted my dad to say that to me. I'm proud of you.
No yeet. Someone's going to have to be the connective
peacemaker.
Yeah.
The glue that binds them.
Yeah.
I want to Wheeler Yuta's name annoys me.
I had to click on that one.
Well, no, I want to click on this one and I want to test this because take off your glasses and you look like Wheeler Yuta.
No.
There we go. Thank you.
No, sorry.
Maybe if he was heavy set, but no. As I got Nia backstage with Nick Aldis.
Naomi's on the phone. Nick Aldis is taking notes.
The match is not canceled. But my partner's sick.
Shut up, Tiffany.
Speak up. I can't hear you. This belt I'm standing next to is too loud. Oh.
I need
Candace and Indy. The first ever women's speed champion. Why, respectfully, why is that a fucking accomplishment that we do need to announce on television?
But you know what they've been done well with it, though, is like Candace hasn't been getting a lot of love. So for the live audience, it's been like, I don't give two fucks about speed. I don't care about the championship, but it's actually getting certain people in the ring. And I know it's 3-minute matches, whatever, but somebody like Candace that hasn't really done shit It's putting her out in front of the audience. So I see the pros to it. I don't think the cons, not those ones, but the cons in this situation aren't enough to give a fuck about. It doesn't really affect anything.
Fair enough. Fair enough. As I've got Piper Niven coming out right now.
Jeez,
I'm so glad they switched her from Dewdrop. Like, her and Chelsea are so great as a team together.
All right, so who's Piper fighting? Is it Michigan?
Remains to be seen, but yeah, I'm a fan of Piper, and she's really actually been able to do like as much as Chelsea's done her own like personality stuff. Like Piper coming out, and she's dressed as a sanitation worker too to show up and help Chelsea and all that.
Yeah,
she's cosplaying as Jim the Anvil Neidhart and all that. She's letting her personality show too.
A very good heel duo. They do extremely well. I mean, again, I like it a lot.
Piper versus Lash, my girl. Let's go.
That'd be interesting.
Well, everybody's saying it, so I'm going with them. Lash Legend, I believe, wrestling Piper. So let's go, Lash Legend. The only people cheering harder for Lash Legend besides myself is Trick Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're on another commercial break. I will remind everybody, we do watch more live wrestling than anybody else out there. If nothing else, unless something changes, we will be back on Monday for Raw. But click that little bell. You never know when we're going to pop up. Me and Nick could be sitting around on the weekend board and just want to talk and be right here again. So make sure you click that little bell. Go follow us on social because we put all the call outs out there. Twitter, Instagram, everything. Go follow the Discord. Be a part of the friends, be a part of the family, be a part of the show as we still continue to flirt with triple digits here tonight. We are growing by the minute. We are grinding towards 6K, and we just are not stopping anytime soon. We appreciate everyone for being a part of us. And, yeah, we're rolling along, man. I mean, the first little chunk of this show, almost an hour in, Nick. Quick time.
Yeah. Now, I will ask this. And I'm going to have to phrase around this a bit and everything like that. SmackDown's always felt fine being 2 hours. It's never felt super rushed.
You're going to start me yelling again?
Oh, I 100% am. But so this whole conversation now that Monday Night Raw, like, just can't fucking figure it out once they've gone from 3 hours to 2 hours, or the tape show was better than the other show. Like, we've talked about this to where blue, red, purple, green in the face of, they know how to do 2 hours of television. That's 99% of their content is like 2 hour television.
Yep.
Why do people think that like 3 hours going to 2 hours suddenly can't work? And do you actually believe the hype that both shows are going to be 3 hours come January? Because holy shit, fuck, if we're going to be here for the 8 hours of wrestling just from WWE every week.
I do believe there's a very good chance, and I expect. I don't want it. I don't want a 3 hour SmackDown. I hope Netflix is like 2.5 hours. Like, they'll have like a roaming finish because they will be live. You can kind of get away with going 225, 220, not really worry about the next show that's on. I'm okay with that. My preference, and I've been vocal about it, is 2 hours. As far as the criticism towards rushed Raw, I laughed because a couple of the content creators jumped on it last week of like, oh, this was better, blah, blah, blah. It was taped, you dumb fucks. So it just made me laugh at like, oh, you garner your opinion. The problem right now is there's such a saturation of people covering wrestling, and a lot of people just piggyback on other people. A lot of people don't have their own 2 cents, but they have a microphone. And in addition to that, this idea that these guys are just walking in the building day of and winging it. Right? They're not us. They're not guessing. They're not unscripted. They know that things are going to go and be shorter, longer, whatever. They're prepared. They got a plan. Like, I keep telling people, like, people get pre-mad at, oh, I can't believe Bad Blood. I can't believe Hell in a Cell won't be. That's a travesty. Oh, the show happened and everybody was pretty fucking happy with it. Like, it's these weird little, we need to find things to be mad at. And there's lots of things to bitch about in wrestling. I do it plenty. But it's like this over fucking, like, the show they're good. They had to speed up. And I explained this on Monday. It's the fans that have to adjust. not the company. We are getting used to a faster paced show, period.
We're used to this because we pretty much grew up with Raw being 2 hours for the most part. I think the 3 hours for us, it dragged a bit of. That's why for the longest time until it really started to pick up and they managed to find out the proper pacing for 3 hours, especially under Triple H, it was like, all right, so like 2 hours of Raw is going to be good, and there's just an hour you can throw away.
Yo, Dwight Howard doing Dancing with the Stars?
That's a lot better than what I thought you were going to say. As I had Lash Legend.
Speaking of knee pads, yeah, we got Lash and Jakara on the screen.
Yeah. Melanated Ariel right now, Jakara Jackson right there.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people that just sit on their couch and turn on a webcam and call it a podcast. And it's unfortunate, but again, there's a lot of fucking that going on, and they just echo what they hear someone else say, or you get little guys in muscle shirts going, it sucks, this is stupid, just because they think that's the way to go about business. And again, it's piggybacking. The show will be fine. WWE is going to be fine. I'd rather it stay 2 hours forever. Forever. I don't need 3-hour wrestling shows other than pay-per-views.
Jamel, what up? Another future star and Lash Legend. We've talked about this. If I think, that she's farther along than Jade Cargill is, she's just doesn't have the caveat when she's introduced and everything like Jade does. She doesn't carry the same presence, I'll say. But then we still, with what we were just talking about, we still get comments of like, got it, WWE perfect, AW sucks, 100% facts. My God, I don't know if you're like fully the context, but what I'm reading from that is like, I don't think any of us even said anything as far as company lines.
We didn't even talk about a company,
good or bad or anything. Yeah.
But that's it. That's my point. Again, when people don't have a good fucking opinion or a good argument, they just say stupid shit.
I think, it's people look more to cause an argument than actually have a discussion. We would rather have the discussion versus just sit there and cause an argument and everything, because an argument's closed-minded. We don't even agree on anything, or I won't say anything, all the things. That's what I meant to say. Yeah. My tongue got ahead of my brain, but
yeah. No, the idea of and then again, I think that if you were actually listening to what I said, I would be critical of WWE making SmackDown 3 hours. So I guess perfect?
Yeah, moving on. But let us know, folks, who you're taking in this match. Whether taking Lash Legend, you're taking Piper Niven. Now, do you go with your Scottish Lash, your fellow countrymen, or partial distant cousin countrymen?
I figured Lash, especially after losing the tag match last week, I give this one to Lash.
Dude, but does a Jade or a Bianca or a Naomi show up and cause run interference, what have you, which would be a little interesting of helping the heel win?
No, I think the participants that are there now will be fine.
Fair enough. Yeah, I'm taking Lash 100%.
Sorry, AW fans. So I give the perfect example. I commented online about Jarrah Hogan and how much I think he's fucking killing it. And a person out there who ended up being a follower of ours was having a nice little conversation. And then out of nowhere, someone comes in and is just like, you're a loser. You think loser things? Fuck you. Like, wait a minute. Good argument, bro. And that's, again, there are sensitive WWE fans, but yeah, the pocket of putrid fucking dub fans are just sad.
Right. And that's why we try to be the cipher. We try to, filter out all the bullshit amongst that,
Down goes Lash.
Non-tribalists, we're loyalists.
Yeah, I think Lash and Jakara should just stay. Don't go back.
I think at this point, that's what it is. I think that's at this point what it is.
Yeah, I'm with you, bud. What a move! I don't know what the fuck that was.
Hey, and look who's in the crowd too. Is Jade and Bianca out there? 100%. I've been on Lash. You didn't like her when she was having her little,
talk show was
ding dong segment and everything. But I've been loving me some Lash.
Yeah, we can both agree that felt like a Bruce Pritchard creation, that talk show.
Yeah.
Ever since they got rid of it, she did good in metaphor, but she's a big athletic woman. She's strong. What a finisher. Like, that's Piper. She just chucked around like a sack of potatoes.
Well, and she's got a personality. She can talk. She's good on the mic and everything.
Yeah. Look at these two. And
TLC up
I know
there.
we're talking a lot about Lash because she had the match. Jakara's right there with her, bro.
But I haven't seen enough in ring. Jakara,
Fair enough.
how you doing? You're up there with Miss Parker. How you doing, Miss Parker? But
they look like stars. They look ready for this.
They have a personality. They have a 100% a gimmick, an establishment. Why do they keep? They're treating this goddamn championship like it's Lord Stanley.
They're trying to make it a thing, bro. They're trying to make it a
Stop
thing.
trying to make fetch happen. The fetch isn't going to work.
Because the next thing up will be Cody Rhodes, I do believe.
Fair enough. Fair enough. And Trick's the lucky man. TJ. Yeah. Is SmackDown better than Raw for year overall? Ooh,
that's a fucking
really good question. I was gonna say that's when you have to tune into the Wrestling for Lifeies there, folks, to see which show overall. If you, off the top of your head, had to just throw out there what you feel right now in your heart of hearts has been the better show of 2024, which would you say?
I'm trying to remember. SmackDown, I think, got the half year for the midlife.
Yeah, it was the midlife crises, but it's also had a dip. It did have a bit of a dip. Roman being gone and so on and so forth. It did have a lull.
That's a tough one.
It's been 3 hours most of the time, and normally, like we even were saying, that incorporates like at least a half hour to an hour kind of lull per night.
Yeah, it's a really good question. I think that Raw's been super strong in the back half of this year. I might give a slight edge off the top of my head to SmackDown still, just because we've, Roman, now that he's back. So now if he keeps running through, we've had some really crazy stuff on SmackDown. I think the first 6 months it was SmackDown. The next few months was Raw. Right now they're pretty neck and neck. Remember, Raw is being rushed right now, so I don't know.
Well, I was going to say that's the point I was going to make for Raw. Of we're getting all the people that were bitching that it shouldn't be 3 hours now saying it should be 3 hours once they move to 2 hours. Once they listen to you, you're like, no, don't listen to me. Go back to what you were doing. It's so stacked that it feels to some people rushed because there's so much going on and so much. Like, we haven't had the Wyatt Six actually in ring, cut a promo, anything in like 2-3 weeks, but they're still prevalent. They're still mention everything, and Raw is still stacked.
Yeah.
So I give an edge to Raw. What will Tiffany say? Two for the price one.
That's a fair one. It will be very interesting to see how the fans vote in our year-end awards this time with, again, a lot of changes happening, a lot of things. And I mean, part of it is like, I love the look of SmackDown. Raw hasn't gone through that full makeover yet. So like, there's all these different little nuances where SmackDown feels a little more special to me at times. But yeah, I've loved Raw. It's a hard show.
Right. Well, and this is where we can even pitch to. Unlike any other channel out there, folks, we make sure that you're incorporating the show 100%. We try and click on as many chat messages as we can. And even with our, mid-year and end-of-the-year awards and everything like that, it's not what we think. It's what y'all think. We sit there and put up everything as a poll and all of that. So come around December, January-ish time and everything like that. There'll be all the polls up so you guys can vote on all the categories and you decide who gets the awards and all of that.
Well, Nick, I will be right back as we're coming out of commercial break, folks. Keep it coming. Keep that chat over triple digits. Let's go.
Absolutely, KJ. There we go. I have to wait until he disappears. But yes, KJ is taking a pause for the causes. I'm getting the overhead shot of Columbia, South Carolina. South Kakalaki. But 3 hours were mostly a part of Roman Reigns. See what did there. John, I feel like you had me in the first half. I don't know about the second half. The reason for no Riot 6, Tony, what up, is because there really isn't a storyline for them unless they just make them to attack everyone heel or face. That's why they should do. Doesn't have to be a feud. What they should do, I don't know. We're setting up right now with the Wyatt 6. We're very much setting up. I think they're going to be involved at going at Karrion Kross. Everybody's been Roman backstage right now with Jimmy, but it seems like we're setting up for the Wyatts to go after Kross, and obviously Kross has been involved with the whole Miz segments and everything. But the last, I think, Wyatt 6 kind of QR code and everything we gave coordinates for Philadelphia. So we'll, see them in Philadelphia for Monday Night Raw. But Roman and Jimmy backstage, and I like how they always make sure to give Roman like the fanciest looking locker room in the arena. So Roman's saying, "Oh, we took our shot, we tried, we move on. We're gonna fix this tonight. Do we get Heyman? Heyman has to be the glue with this. If Wiseman was here, ha ha ha. It needs to. I need me some Paul Heyman. And he's the guy that's got the visitors pass. We talked about this a while ago, to where Heyman and Jay had that kind of interaction backstage at Raw, and just like, just don't acknowledge each other. We're good, all of that. But he won't let me. But now that Roman's finally acknowledging, again, slightly pun intended, that he needs help, that he's a chief with no tribe at this point. Like how even Jimmy said, he's the only one that still acknowledges Roman. So he's really got to start to pull this back together, as they are really putting an emphasis on this championship right now. Don't think Paul Heyman at SmackDown tonight. Fair enough, Dale, but we also didn't think that Jey Uso was exactly going to be there. And sure as shit, he showed up. But I've got Cody Rhodes coming out right now, folks, as we are just about to hit the top of the hour. And we are one fall away from triple digits. So let's see if we can keep this up over 100 for the whole second hour of SmackDown. Don't know what's worse, Crown Jewel title or the IC title. Steven, you don't like the IC title? I think the IC title looks fantastic. Like the Crown Jewel title looks cool if like it was like a fan belt. Like if that was like the Wrestling for Life title or something like that. Like in IRL, I guess it would be halfway all right. I think it looks pretty solid. It reminds me of an AEW championship, I will say that. But yeah, I don't think either one looks really bad. Like to me, the Raw tag titles look bad. And I don't like the Ferrero Rocher World Heavyweight Championship on Raw, but yeah, I don't think the new IC title belt that's very much paying homage to the OG with the globe in the center of it looks bad. But Willie becoming a member, thank you, sir. And again, I will remind everybody, we do have the super chats, the super stickers, the memberships as well. 100%. We do the members only streams, the Bacon Club for life and all of that. And we do also have all the emojis, everything like that. And we do have the super chats if you want to help support the channel, if you want to make sure your comment gets read. And like I said, yeah, it just helps us keep growing and keep doing this thing and keep making this more of, the full-time dream versus part-time. What did Trek say? Same, fair enough. We're moving on. Crown Jewel, overly gaudy belt. Yeah, fair enough. It's, all the diamonds, all the encrusted, but I mean, it's only fitting with it being in Saudi. And did anyone else see the picture floating around that they just pulled up there of to where it's Tom Aspinall, Gunther, and Cody? So you had all of TKO's champions all in the ring at the same time here. I will ask you folks this: which Saudi belt would you rather have? This Crown Jewel belt or the greatest Royal Rumble championship that Braun Strowman is still allegedly the longest reigning champion? This man out here, getting bouquets and everything like that to win a Royal Rumble. Hey, and shout out Willie, man, this is again why we love doing this and why we love the community that we built and everything like that. And it's all just, it's the festival of friendship, when it comes to wrestling. I'm just waiting to be, Chris Jericho to KJ's Kevin Owens of why is my name on this? But gifting 5 memberships. So absolutely. Dub gifts, absolutely. Dub Willie, 100%. Dub Willie in the chats, absolutely. What you want to talk about? That shit is getting old. Oh, really, Gilly? Yeah, everybody gets your membership. Shout out Willie 100% when you do. But do you guys think that Cody's getting stale as a champion, or is it just they have nothing for, like, the closest that they've gotten to have something for him to really sink his teeth into and everything like that? Why won't WWE make the WWE title look like the crown jewel belt? Anthony, they should make the world heavyweight title look like that. But yeah, the closest that they've had for Cody to sink his teeth into has been Kevin Owens, and I will admit they're a bit slow playing it, and I like what they're doing with it, but I think that's why people feel like he's gotten a bit stale. Just my appreciation. Well, we appreciate you back, my guy, 100%. Because the crown jewel belt is fugly. Screw you, Boston. Let me get through my point as Cody's cutting a promo here, but the Kevin Owens Cody thing has been the most that Cody's had so far, I think, since he's been champion post Roman, to sink his teeth into, to where it feels like if Kevin Owens and Cody had a match right now for the title, you would almost conceived, but that Kevin Owens could win the belt off Cody. He'd be the only one so far that you believe that could actually lose the belt. Like even this match with him and Gunther, it's a little odd because both men are world champions. They don't exactly need to win the belt versus bragging rights. That's really what it's all about. I'd rather see Cody defend the title in something that matters than a match for bragging rights. But I mean, when you're getting paid Saudi blood money, you'll do whatever the paycheck tells you. Love Cody, but it's time for a different champion. I want to see Damian Priest with title. Well, he had the title and then he lost it. So, I mean, how are you going to say it's time for a new champion and mention an old champion with title and turn heel? I think he's so talented. Definitely made a good. Tony, I appreciate you. You're literally just naming everything Damian Priest just did. So you're just saying we should just go back to where Priest was. So then he traded to SmackDown and takes the title off of Cody. Cody's already got KO he needs to deal with, and I'm still assuming at some point he's got to deal with Randy Orton being a heel. So then you'd have Damian take the belt off of Gunther, which no. At this point, Gunther holds the belt for a good minute. IMDb's out here throwing tomato sauce, eh? Wonder contract-wise when WWE ends with Saudi. I think, and I could be wrong, because again, I said the words I think, and I know that's a bold strategy, Cotton. That it's around this year, it's coming up, I feel. Now, granted, I feel if that was fully legitimate to be talked about a bit more, but I'm done paying the price. Cody cutting a whole huge promo, but I think they're getting close-ish. I kind of hope that they're getting close to it. Like, I don't mind the Saudi shows, but they're just over expenditured house shows. An old woman sitting at home, 3 foot tall, so he's talking to his daughter right now. But Richard Bozell, I think that's the new name, or Boozel. I hope I said that right. The greatest Royal Rumble championship would be better, or just a diamond crown. Oh, so we go back to the King of the Ring, the little crown and everything. I just don't like having pay-per-view specific championships. Like it reminds me. Does anyone remember that Jeff Jarrett's still like the Leatherface champion in AEW right now? He's, I believe, currently. Lady B corrected me. Thank you. Saudi deal runs through 2027. 10-year deal. I thought 10-year deal. I didn't know when they signed it. So fair enough. Yeah. So we still got a couple years into this, but yeah, I hate show specific titles. Like, obviously the Money in the Bank carries on past that, but like the greatest Royal Rumble championship, show specific title, this show specific title, you're never defending that. You're never seeing it again past Crown Jewel. Like I said, Jeff Jarrett won the goddamn Leatherface championship in AEW when they did their whole horror show and everything, which actually I'm super excited for. Fright Night Dynamite, or whatever they're calling there. It's the night before Halloween, and we're going to get Shelton Benjamin versus Swerve Strickland, which Shelton looked like a goddamn boss, like we knew he would, versus Leo Rush. But I think that match is where we get Bobby Lashley. I'm surprised we didn't get, good old Bobby, good old Booby Lashley on Wednesday. But I think that one, the night before Halloween and everything, when you get Swerve and you get Shelton going at it, is where we get Bobby. As we're getting a replay of KO attacking Cody and then everything that took place between Cody, Randy, and Kevin Owens last Friday here. And I do still like of Kevin Owens is viewing this all of, you picked Cody Rhodes over me. I still don't fully know why he's so mad at Cody specifically, but I'll give him credit. They fooled me. I was fully convinced of, no, this is a smokescreen for when Randy turns heel. Instead, they made Kevin Owens the heel, and they're replaying. So again, anybody out there that thinks that this man's gone, that this man's going to AW, looking at you, Dave, anything, they're not going to air on their show a segment of this man saying, I might be done with WWE if he's actually leaving. But it's so great because it feels so genuine. It feels so authentic. It's him. If I were them, I almost wouldn't show this on TV. I would rather it just stays to social media. You leave that buzz floating around of this might be him going rogue, what have you, of he's just sitting there talking and cutting promos in his car and everything like that. Speaking of car promos,
there we go.
Now, there we go.
There we go.
This whole stream will fit 2 beardos right in it.
We got to acknowledge the T-shirt that KO's wearing.
Oh, the dream, that's the road, baby, 100%.
The American Dream's son.
But how do you feel, sir? Welcome back. That they're airing the in the car promos and everything on TV. I get it, but I almost feel like if you left it to a social media thing of maybe it really would be, you can sell it a bit more of maybe he's actually going off script. He's going, rogue with this versus we're going to sit there and you can't sit there and they won't show me, they won't let me in the building, but we're going to air your whole promo that you put out on Twitter.
Fair enough. I do see it. I don't mind though, because I get your point fully. I really do. Yeah. But at the same time, I do think there's a contingent of the audience. They know where we talk about the Twitter feels like every wrestling fan ever is on Twitter, but that's 5% of the audience. So there is a big part of the audience. They do want to know what Kevin's up to. Right. So it's a bit of a double-edged sword, and I understand.
Right.
As we go back to Nick Aldis, ladies and gentlemen.
I am still on KO.
Okay, let me hold up. Let me know when you get Randy.
I have Aldis backstage. Now I have Randy. So we're a hiccup.
Right there.
And see, it's not me that just randomly just disappears and gets ahead. Now you watch. I'm going to come back and somehow end like 2 segments ahead.
Right.
But I think that's a better segue than anything, but I will be right back here, sir.
Absolutely. Lisa's saying that Fatu is on another level. He is. I mean, he's been incredible. And I know a lot of people, even the debate of like, should he be the leader of the new bloodline, But he plays the role very well. And there will come a day where Fatu is sick at solo. And again, if you give us everything Jacob has right away, then what do you give us later? And they've been very patient in their booking, very patient in their presentation, Lisa. So at the end of the day, I agree with you. He's just dialed in. It's amazing to see names like Fatu, Tongas. We talked about MCMG tonight. Like, these are names we never thought we would see in this company, and now we're getting it. Time. Oh, Nick just left during as here comes A-Town Down. But up next, ladies and gentlemen, we have, I guess they're calling them Los Garza now. Maybe I might have made that up, but A-Town Down and what is expected, or what now is known as the debut of MCMG. So make sure you get in that chat, click all those buttons, and get in the chat and let us know how you feel about it. But we are ready to go in one of, what's crazy to say this, but one of the biggest debuts in wrestling in 2024. But I have a feeling they're going to go back to commercial and drag this out a little bit longer. Yeah, 100%. So we are going to commercial. I saw Damien trying to pull at my heartstrings by letting me know that Alley Catch is in Alley Catch win her House of Glory debut in triple threat match. Yeah. So good for shout out to Alley Catch, friend of the channel. Is giving the channel some love. So big shout out to her. Congratulations. Anthony's pumped and ready to go. MCMG for the win. I will put a poll up right now, folks. I mean, this one should be relatively obvious. I know we played the what if game earlier, but does anybody anticipate MCMG not winning? An MCMG against DIY is not a bad show as far as match quality goes. Bum, bum, bum. But who do you got? Who you taking? Do you think that MCMG could lose? Are you going to pick someone else? But I can't see it happening. They've done a really good job. I was a little disappointed, a little critical of the idea that this is not just a surprise. But again, there's a method to the madness. We hope anyway, and we will see it. That pic of Dusty was staring through my soul. I like it. MCMG for the win. It would be insane to have MCMG. Yeah, I think so. Again, I mean, you talk about bringing in somebody that's going to be a difference maker, to have an impact in the tag team division. Bring them in and they lose. Why? They'd be crazy. The Gun's not losing. There you go. Talking to my Canadian heart right now. I felt it through the screen from I like it. I like it. Roman Reigns isn't going to ignore the solo acknowledge me. No, not at all. And I did. When I was on my pause, we did get the segment. It felt like old Bloodline, where Roman's in the locker room. He's got his comfy chair. Jimmy and him are talking. But Roman said it straight out. If we had a wise man, this wouldn't even be an issue. And I think that's a very telling part of this. Nick and I both have kind of thrown the theory out that it will be Paul Heyman that pulls all of this back together. And he's the guy that kind of weaves the magic, makes things happen. And if the assumption is accurate, the idea that Sammy somehow gets pulled into this, it might require some finagling. So 2 members of Raw have to come over to make this story work. That's where Paul comes in and makes it believable, makes it real. And I think Paul's going to get a huge pop. Don't you wish you have the same office decor as Nick Aldis in your background? No, I'm pretty happy with mine. Shout out to Aldis, looking sharp, looking dapper in his decor. But I'm pretty happy hanging out at the bar. Trust me, feeling pretty good. Heel turn by Profits causing MCMG to lose because of jealousy. I thought this. I did think this earlier, Willie. You might be onto something, but I listen, I know the company themselves don't overly care. I would be shocked, though. I mean, do they win and then get screwed? Do they get to the title match and then get screwed? But we definitely have a reason for the Street Profits to be pissed off. They teased the heel turn in the past. Is now the time. That is the only way you get out of not giving MCMG a win tonight. I can't imagine MCMG losing any other way. However, I still don't like it. Let them win tonight. Their jealousy can kick off next week. And maybe the jealousy is it's DIY versus MCMG, and the Street Profits actually cost DIY as part of their heel turn. Or both. Turn it into a complete squash, or turn it into a kerfuffle. As Garza with Elektra Lopez and Humberto are on the apron. So we know they're not winning. I have been waiting for years for MCMG to go to the WWE. I agree. Again, it's one of it. To me, this feels like AJ Styles-esque. AJ Styles was that guy that had never been there, was never coming. And then he became a free agent. There was all these little rumors. They're going to get AJ. They're going to get AJ. Well, look at the entrance. And they're going straight machine gun. Let's go. I love it. MCMG is here, folks. They have made it. There. Let's go. How are we feeling about it? How did you like the look? And a lot of people said, are they going to be worried about the machine gun? Well, clearly not. This is surreal. A little bit, but again, that's what I think people sometimes forget with the WWE universe. There's a chunk of it that doesn't follow everything. They are very much WWE centric. And I don't know if they felt confused. Like, there's a lot of people on their feet cheering, but there are a good amount of people that aren't quite sure who they are. And then you just woke up the entire block. Let's go, folks. Chris Sabin, Alex Shelley, and right now, Corey and Wade are given the resume of the Motor City Machine Guns. Shelley looks like someone put AJ in. He looks like AJ before AJ went on his bulk up sabbatical. Triple H in charge, letting War Raiders have their names back, letting MCMG be called Motor City Machine Guns, not using medical facility, actually calling it a hospital. Lots has changed. The War Raiders on Monday was fucking outstanding. The old look, the old music, the old vibe, the old feel. The theme sucked, but it's MCMG. Fair enough. I mean, again, I think Def Rebel's still on the account right now. What year is this? Yeah, right? And that's the fun part about being a wrestling fan right now. They're off and running, folks. 81% taking MCMG. 84. All right, it's fluctuating around 80. Heavy favorites. So they are officially the oldest tag team on the roster. What do they do? What do they have? A 3-year shelf life? Maybe. But again, I mean, we talk a lot about WWE getting very young. Having these guys come in that are still functioning at this level, Gilly. Again, I'd rather watch MCMG than Jericho. Sabin kind of looks like Danielson without a beard. Interesting. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Maybe a little. MCMG for president. I know Murder City is I watch TV. There you go. Talking about their inspiration. Yeah. Again, and maybe it is a 3-year contract kind of thing. Maybe they do transition and do some work with NXT and help young tag teams get over. Like they're talking about right now on commentary, they are influential. They can teach young tag teams how to do what they did. The problem for them is they did a lot of their work with a smaller audience. As we go to commercial break right now, folks, we are off and running. What did Big Dog say? All that's missing now is beer money. Holy shit. Listen, I would just settle with a glorious entrance. MCMG, way better than the Young Bucks. Miles. So much of what we get from the Young Bucks came from a team like MCMG. That's it. Generic rock song number 2. Yeah, again. But the entrance itself was solid. Would we agree on that? Like, did you guys like the visual? Did you like the machine gun kind of popping off at the opening? Maybe not the best of music, but WWE, I very critical of a lot of the wrestlers have really shitty entrance music, and we've talked about that a lot. The influx of TNA is strong in WWE. The relationship with TNA and WWE has gone very well. And again, we've seen a lot. Sol Ruka over on TNA. I believe Wendy Chu and Rosemary are going after the tag titles at Bound for Glory. I mean, I think this has worked out very well. I think it's done good things for TNA. It's done good things for WWE, and being able to get your, to have that influx and see guys like MCMG be on this stage, be on this level, and have crowds cheering for them. I think they deserved it. It's a really good story. It's kind of, again, as cliche and maybe a little bit of, I don't know, just another, that old saying. But at the end of the day, man, it's don't give up on your dreams. Keep working hard. Keep doing your thing. And this is a big moment for them. And that's what I'm most happy about with this decision. Again, to see them in front of 10,000 people and they're all going nuts or they're all cheering. And by the end of this match, you'll even know more about them. I like it. I like it a lot. The visuals are nice. I loved it. Yeah, nice opening. Gave them a little bit of pyro, which not every team gets the pyro pop. Wasn't both teams in TNA at the same time. Yeah, but the Young Bucks, I feel like, only had a cup of tea in TNA. I don't feel like they were anything of note, right? Jordan Grace, official NXT debut as part of NXT. Again, hold on tight with Jordan Grace. It's very interesting, and that is going to officially wait till January. But at the end of the day, it's going to be very interesting. I actually think Jordan's about to lose her title to Masha, so be very interesting. Do you think, Nick from the Great Beyond, do you think WWE is going to? No, I don't. Not too. I think that there is very good wrestlers in TNA, but there's also wrestlers that I don't think WWE is going to instinctually go after. If I was TNA, I'd be more concerned with some of my younger talent getting poached. But I do think it's almost a bit of a revolving door of like, we talk about, will AJ Styles get to kind of celebrate, a Hall of Fame induction, or will AJ Styles get to make an appearance at a Bound for Glory? I think it works in both directions, but I can't see them going after, like a Kazarian or maybe even an Eddie Edwards at this point. So I do think that, will they be able to flex and take some people? Yes, but I also think some people are going to go the other way. So-and-so, we're not using you a whole lot. Go there. Or like we've seen with some of the NXT talent of, you'll get some reps in TNA. It helps. So I might be wrong, but it feels like a very mutual relationship. And I don't feel like Triple H is Vince. I think Vince 100% would take advantage of this opportunity. Whoa, double moonsault. There you go. As Legado goes to the outside, but here comes Waller. I cess to be so jealous of Chris Sabin because he was dating Velvet Sky. Used to be. There you go. Young Bucks, equal generation. Well played, Willie. Again, I think what hurts the Young Bucks the most is they hype themselves up. They haven't earned it. It's a lot of talk and not a lot of backing up that talk. I don't see them walk the walk. How often? We're constantly getting the Bucks in trios matches, constantly getting the Bucks in stupid shit. And that, to me, is what hurts them the most. But no matter how bad they do, they tell you, oh, no, we're the best. And again, there's a thin line between confident and cocky. But Angel has, speaking of confident and cocky.
Yeah, I don't know which part of that line I fall on, but yeah, 100%. If we've got, it is still crazy to me to see that the Motor City Machine Guns, it is that AJ Styles is of, never thought they would be here and are here and got the whole gravitas entrance and everything like that. Get the whole pomp and circumstance.
Yeah, did you like the entrance and such?
Excuse me. Oh, I did, minus the music. Like, I didn't really catch anything. It was just, generic rock track number 5. Yeah. So beyond that, I think it was pretty solid.
I see where you're coming from with that. But I did like the visual. We joked earlier about are they going to have to not use machine guns? But yeah, at the end of the day.
Oh, and we're getting vintage Motor City right there with the little skin.
And listen to the crowd.
Now, did they do I know we didn't like it, and again, we watch all of the wrestling, and most of who watch us watch all of the wrestling. Right? So we have people. Are you going to be here for Maple Leaf? Are you watching House of Glory? Are you watching GCW? Are you watching XPW?
Oh,
our
nice.
audience watches all the wrestling because we watch all the wrestling.
And
I already got the win.
The neckbreaker splash combo for the win, and the crowd's with it.
Well, and I was curious if it was still going to be a bit of a squashy match here, which is still a bit was. Yeah, but I think they might have done the tease a little bit before of at least so people can halfway familiarize themselves with it because Motor City Machine Guns you're a wrestling fan. If you are big about Motor City Machine Guns.
Oh, I stand corrected. Andrade and Carmelo are fighting next week.
Ah, fair enough. As we got them backstage with Saxton. Glad to see this man still gainfully employed, but Spaz out here trying to help us get gainfully employed with doing this with the $10 super chat saying, Graves said it perfectly. Your favorite tag team's favorite tag team. Facts.
Yeah.
See, we're your favorite tag team, and that's our favorite tag team. So there you go. Proof positive.
Yeah.
The Hardys made me take my first look at TNA way back. Guys like MCMG made me stay.
Yeah, I mean, again, and I talked earlier about like even like Chris Sabin and he was such a staple, was like the X Division early on. And yeah, I mean, they are like the heart and soul guys. That's why it's almost unbelievable, like in AJ Styles, to see them on a SmackDown. It feels a little surreal.
Right. And yeah. And like not repackaged, not we changed the name or anything. This is, this isn't, Detroit Tommy Gun Club or anything like that. It's, the Motor City Machine Guns, and they stay true to it, which is a sign of the times. And what are you out there? Oh, hey, man's going full Naomi. You just got to do devil holds.
I wasn't sure. That's why I look confused. Like, can I do this?
Right, you're out there. KJ's just a big Texas football fan. Go Longhorns.
Naomi. But yeah, no, I agree with you, Nick. And I thought the commentary team did a phenomenal job of explaining who these guys were. If you didn't know, well, now you know, and you were put on notice to why we should give a shit. It's not. I'm very critical of a guy like Excalibur who just marks out when we see the new people. I think this is a nice touch where you explain to the fan base of who they are, why are they a big deal. And I thought, again, not the most amazing debut, but it served its point. Happy to see it. And now they'll be back next week for a number 1 contender match. Them versus DIY could cook.
Oh, yeah, very much with this, you pulled the Band-Aid off. We all pretty much at that point knew it was going to happen. They had teased it enough and strongly enough and all of that. But, yeah, it's such a shot in the arm for their tag team division. I mean, think about it. If it wasn't for injury time in AEW, we would be having Lucha Bros be following them, right behind them. And we just had the War Raiders. And I will emphasize the War Raiders because that's how they showed up. Not the Viking Experience, not the Viking Raiders, not, two guys LARPing in cosplay. They just showed up on Raw. So I may not like the whole MAGA shit, but make tag teams great again. I'm all about that.
I'm okay with that.
You can make that a t-shirt.
Right. This is one of my favorite things. Bloodline took over WWE better than American History Mocks. That is wicked.
Yeah, I've heard that before. Yeah,
I had not. So good job.
That's why I keep calling them the White Pool Combat Club.
The White Pool Combat Club. But yeah, no, I mean, again, I think now, do you feel like, is there a chance? Now, this is just guessing, but is there a chance that Penta and Phoenix not getting away from AEW changed the approach for Motor City? That maybe Motor City was going to NXT and a spot freed up?
That's a really interesting thing because I hadn't put 2 and 2 together. I still would have probably gotten 22 trying to do that. But yeah, that's not a bad shout. I really hadn't thought about that. I don't But the thing is, it's either way is not a bad move. So WWE's in the catbird seat with a lot of this. Of even if they have to pivot, you almost don't know that they need to pivot because it's still so like with AJ Styles going out. And we still get Andrade and Carmelo and all of that. They have to pivot, but we don't know. We don't really see or feel that they pivoted because they just still made it work, and that's where they were kind of going as it is.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And I mean, again, we talked a lot about other times where they've had to pivot or whatever, but I was just, again, it's just a guess. Like, my argument would be, well, you didn't have, it wasn't a bird in the hand when it came to Penta and Phoenix. So that would worked out really well.
You got two in the bush.
Yeah. So maybe I'm wrong, but I was wondering, like, if they, especially because it's kind of lining up with Santos and crew, that I wonder if it was supposed to be the Luchas, but I like this. I think DIY and MCMG could have a really fucking good match next week.
Right. Well, oh, absolutely. Well, that's NXT Black and Gold written all over it. As Matt Skizzy, I think, going kind of your thought process there of, do we think Motor City are being signed this late in career to be moved into a training / producing role for a tag division? They're signed about as late in their career as, say, AJ was, and AJ still won world titles and everything. So, yeah,
I think that. But I also talked about the ability to spend. I could see them transitioning, especially having an impact on NXT talent. So we saw it with Robert Roode. We've seen it with Aldis. Like, Aldis could have kept wrestling. Aldis wasn't a bad wrestler when he came to the WWE, but they very much transition people in a smart way. There is a big influx of young talent. We just saw Lash and Jakara show up. We see teams like Fraxium. Like, if we get MCMG Fraxium, that could be fucking fun as hell.
Love it or hate it, how you feel about WWE, it at least feels like there's a fucking plan. It feels like they had storyboarded out that there is long-term plans with all of this. Like you mentioned Aldis. I still think Aldis has a match under WWE's banner and everything like that, much like how Nigel still had a match.
Yeah.
I still think Aldis has a match and all of that. But
well, if you want to make me excited about the next draft, Adam Pearce and fucking Aldis have to wrestle for the first pick.
Every pin, they have a Iron Man match. Every pinfall is the draft pick.
They just pause the Iron Man to make a pick,
right? That's how they announce after the pinfall. You have to announce your pick right after that. That's how you could explain the random fucked up picks. I was just took a DDT. I was out of it. That's why I picked.
I didn't mean to draft Odyssey Jones.
That's why I picked Candice LeRae over Charlotte Flair.
Are you surprised that Candice
is coming out right now
in this role?
What?
Are you surprised it was Candice of all people?
Yeah, I mentioned that earlier. Like, I don't give a shit with the speed title, and they're a bit more of the afterthought and everything. But I mean, it's something. It's something. Does Nia Jax just attract small stature, blonde, but minus the hair dye?
It does help her look
huge to her, because you had, Alexa, you've had Tiffany, now you've got Candice, all of that.
LOL, KJ Bucks faced MCMG during TNA days. I don't think I said they didn't. That's an interesting comment, Jeff. All caps. Why are you yelling at me?
Right. But, well, I do like what you said I feel a lot of the Young Bucks style and how they wrestle is Motor City.
Yeah. Yeah. And again,
that was the style. That was the theme for tag team wrestling for a good bit. Like early 2000s, mid 2000s. That was like the tag team wrestling style.
Right. So who's going to win this one? I think Bayley and Naomi might get in a fight at some point. No,
Team Babyface.
All right.
Team Babyface get the win here because
we know Tiffany's not really sick, though.
I can't make it into work today. I'd rather have Piper team up with Nia and LeRae face Lash. You just want everyone to get swashed. Oh, Piper team up with Nia. Yeah, that's
not. How do you stop that?
Yeah, that's that's when Tugboat and Earthquake there teamed up together and everything like that. See, look at it. It shook KJ to his core. Surprise cash in tonight, Christopher. I don't know. That doesn't make sense. At this point. Maybe you get Tiffany still shows up and that causes the distraction, what have you. Yeah, I don't. We've still got to sell and settle on Tiffany coming across as a babyface, just not. Well, she's less of a heel than Nia.
Hi, sorry.
Hi, no, you're fine. But do you agree with that? Because Christopher is saying a surprise cash in, and I feel we still need to settle on. Oh, it's a 2 count, but we need to settle on establishing Tiffany as an actual babyface, not just, well, she's less of a heel than Nia.
Say that again. Sorry, I was having a glitch.
Fair enough. I will say this now the third time. I'm going to be like Booker T, 5 time. That we don't get a cash in tonight because we still need to establish Tiffany more as a babyface.
Yeah,
because right now, if she cashed in, she's just less of a heel than Nia.
Yeah, no, there's no cash in coming tonight. It won't be. It will be at a pay-per-view. It will be a moment.
Right.
I don't see it just happening on a night like tonight, especially because Tiffany's in on the ruse, right? Like Tiffany knows that.
On the ruse and the booze? What?
She's in on the whole plan, and at least we assume so.
Well, I think she's trying to go along with the plan. She just doesn't know. She doesn't know the playbook well enough yet. She's out there still. She's new to the team. She's still, she's zigging when she should have zagged and everything a little bit of times. Like that's why she's still, having to grab the briefcase back from Jess and everything like that. No, I wasn't trying to cash in. Don't make me look like I'm a bad friend.
Right.
Just a thought. Fair enough. But I don't see it happening.
No, I would agree with that.
316. You were all the way. You were doing so well. You were talking about Motor City and everything like that. And then instantly, we need Liv and Dom on the show. Go watch Raw.
Yeah, go watch replays.
Go watch replays of us and watch Raw. Go watch the replay of us watching Raw while you watch Raw. So you can get more Liv and Dom for the 5 seconds that they were on screen. But anyways, I digress.
Right.
Hey, say that again. What? Dawn saying could be for DV awareness. Yesterday was DV awareness day, and people usually wear purple. Who's what now? Now I need to find what did Vince say. Naomi wearing all purple. Shout out. I guess she's a 2 thigh, 2 cheek, 1 pound purple leader.
Right. I would pop if Johnny and Candace came out as Cosmo and Wanda for Halloween. All right.
Yeah. Did you ever watch Fairly Odd Parents? I guess this is where we're going as we're in a commercial break right now.
We are in a commercial break, folks.
So no on the Fairly Odd Parents.
No.
There you go. Usually it takes a wrestler shoving the briefcase in the ref's face, and the ref asks you they're sure 2 million times. With Tiffany, though, the ref finds it on the ground and says, good enough for me. Yeah, that is true, but that's why that's the tease. That's the angle that they're going with it. That's why they're selling it on, she didn't mean to try and look like she's cashing in, but Nia Jax keeps thinking, I got you in the back of my eye here.
Mm-hmm. No, I was trying to make. Oh, go ahead.
No, we literally clicked the same thing. Read it.
Go read.
Nia was trying to make her bow down. I could see Tiffany bowing down, saying only if you bow down to, and then walloping Nia with the case.
Yeah, to an extent. I think we're gonna get like what happened with Sammy, or we're gonna get what happened. If you want to go all the way back to like the Virgil moment, like you got to push Tiffany to the point where she feels abused, like she feels like she's, we want like where the fans start chanting for Tiffany to turn, and we see it building. It's got to keep going.
Yeah, you got to try and make Veruca Salt a babyface. Good fucking luck. So you got to take a little bit to sit there and make Barbie a babyface here a little bit.
Yeah.
That shit don't happen overnight.
Yeah.
As Bailey right now in control of Candace. And I like, though, now it's so crazy. Like, time's a bastard if you really think about it. Of the four horsewomen, we saw them all come through NXT, whether it be Sasha, Mercedes, Bailey, Becky, Charlotte, all of that, and they're now like the veterans, like the OG, triple OGs right now in the women's wrestling scene.
Yeah.
Like Bailey seems like the vet amongst, current day talent a bit here with this, and they always have that stature about them.
Mm-hmm. I got the wanted man on my screen. There you go, Damien. Awesome. I said Naomi is dressed like a sexy version of Barney, and that's what sparked that purple disc. It's a little too pink for Barney. Let's be real.
It is Neon Barbie or Neon Barney. I love you, you love me.
Right.
If all the raindrops were lemon drops and gumdrops. Oh.
Nick Nemeth just defeated Vikingo. Okay.
Well, that's shout out Wrestling Revolver and all that. And well, on Bound for Glory, we will see Vikingo taking on Speedball Mike Bailey for the TNA X Division as well. So 100% surprising. It feels Vikingo's been gone for a hot minute. Like last I remember him as Candace. Hey,
holy shit!
Candace with the sneaky roll up.
Well, she had a move. That wasn't a roll up at all.
Oh, well, I just saw the pin. I just assumed that the position she was in after the pin was a roll up. I didn't see the actual pin. I saw the result of the pin. I apologize.
It was a moonsault into a leg hook. She fucking wow.
Like I said, I saw the finality. I did not see the setup. So
right, Nia confused.
Candace is like, "Can I raise your hand? Can I touch you? I'll raise Indy's hand. Can I raise Indy's hand?"
This is unexpected.
Could this be, though, of plays more into the Nia Tiffany thing of Candace and Indy try and weasel their ways, nudge their ways into we're your friends, Nia. And it starts to shove Tiffany a little bit more into the corner.
Nice. Hardy Boys returning. There you go. That's cool. That's cool. I'm shocked. I'm with you, Willie. That's an unexpected as shit.
Right?
Brooke Assault will only turn face if you buy her a squirrel.
Squirrel.
A squirrel.
Matchmaker, make me a match. Find me.
I gotta be honest, Nick.
Go ahead.
This crown jewel thing's not working for me at all.
It doesn't work for you, dog?
It's not. And like next week, they're advertising Cody Gunther face to face. I don't care.
Yeah, Cody has felt mid as a champion because I
didn't say that. And I
will say that. I will say that because I was talking about this while you were on your pause and they were talking about setting up the match between him and Gunther and everything. We're going from Cody hasn't had anything to sink his teeth into to now a champions versus champion match. That means respectively fuck and all.
He had a really good build up to Backlash with
Name me anyone that Cody's faced since he's been champion that you feel could take the title off him.
Technically AJ could have taken the title off him. Again, because he's a good champion, you always expect him to hold it. But KO and what he did with KO was perfectly fine. I wouldn't say that. Oh, wait a minute.
That's the funny thing about this. Yeah.
Special guest referee.
Twice.
So LA Knight's going to be the special guest referee in match 7 between Andrade and Carmelo. Oh, perfect. Let's go.
Yeah, it's either Tim Donaghy. The fix is in right now here, folks. So hedge your bets wisely when it comes to who you're picking between Andrade and Carmelo next week.
I heard SmackDown versus Raw at Survivor Series. Maybe a sprinkling of it. I can't see the whole thing being kind of
a match at best. A match.
Yeah, I could go with that. But yeah, I also think like this whole thing with Cody's cooled off Gunther. Like I want Gunther to be like into something. Like, and again,
you have nothing for Gunther going to, but I do have the OTC showing up. So 100%, we have the original tribal chief
Yeah, like, to me, this feels like a Forbidden Door type booking where there's real, like, I don't care. Like, I mean, again, for those who, I know we had someone pop in the chat earlier and go, oh, yeah, WWE is perfect. They're not. They're fallible. And this is a perfect example of, like, I don't care about this trophy or this belt that you're trying to make cool. And I don't really care for the two champions to fight each other. I don't.
Right.
Like next week. So we had a thing last week. Now Cody does a promo this week. Next week they have a face-to-face.
We are building up to something that will not matter post that show.
Yeah.
Nothing past a crown jewel matters.
Yeah. Like, I just don't care. They've already talked it out. We've already had those conversations. But crown jewels, we're going to commercial break and the fingers are up.
Yeah, so I was going to say, make sure you hit that, like, share, and subscribe, as I'm halfway glitching out here. I'm not beating the AI claims and everything like that.
Like, do you need Marty McFly to, like, get your parents back together?
Right. My mom and dad somehow are not, hooking up together. Hello, McFly. Hello. But 100% make sure you hit that like, share, and subscribe button. 100% we are the Wrestling for Life Network. We do this for anything and everything when it comes to pro wrestling. So, yes, as much as you acknowledge the OTC, make sure you acknowledge the as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But, yeah, I mean, again, we were getting Roman coming out. Crown, I was going to say to Boston, Crown Jewel's always a bit of a pointless show. Like, it's always a lot of, dude, we were live. Do you remember me throwing a temper tantrum when they announced Logan Paul was going to fight Roman? And I was like, what the fuck? And again, the sentiment then is still true. It's like, it's Crown Jewel.
That's the thing is I had to walk you off the ledge and explain. I was like, well, it's Crown Jewel. It won't matter. And they're just doing it for buzz. And they're doing it for attention. It's the battle of belts of WWE.
Yeah.
Especially this year, too, literally.
Now, again, I mean, I'll give them credit. They're actually putting their names in the right, like, in big places. But I'm not excited about it. I'm not excited about either of this. Like, I kind of just want to get Crown Jewel over with and get to Survivor Series. Let's go.
Yeah.
And there's a long build between Crown Jewel and Survivor Series.
Which I almost don't mind because you give
I lied. November 2nd, November 30th. My bad.
Oh,
so not that long.
Fair enough. But still, Crown Jewel feels just like a glorified house show a wee bit. But yeah, this was brought up earlier, and I found out, thanks to the chat and everything like that, that their contract with Saudi goes to 2027.
Yeah.
How would you fix? What would you do with the Saudi shows, I guess?
Nothing.
You just leave as is, so we're still going to bitch, but just leave it?
Yeah, we're just accept it for what it is. I mean, again, we understand what happened. They inherited this contract. It would have they would lose a shit ton of money. More money than any of us combined are ever going to see in our lives.
Hey, don't you say that. I'm waiting to sit on 10 bill. What the fuck is you talking about?
Yeah, there you go. Nick wants all that money, but
exactly. I'm gonna speak that shit into existence.
Let's go. So I mean, I get, just ride it out. You're almost there. Ride it out. Again, it's a lot of sizzle, not a lot of steak. It is what it is.
Fair enough.
Crowd is loud in the main event spot tonight. 10 minutes on the clock.
Right, Roddy. Let's stay quiet while the tribal chief speaks.
We're not good at that.
Twitch streamer?
Yeah, what are we, a Twitch streamer?
Could you imagine, folks? Imagine how much you would enjoy that if you tune into 2 hours of just doing.
Like, I mean, I give Trips a little bit of credit for trying to make it cool, but some things are just not cool.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make
he bit himself in the ass with, our shit was cool. That ain't.
Yeah.
Acknowledge me. Oh, and I like the side by side. You have Solo come out initially with the South Carolina acknowledge me. OTC, all of that. And you have Roman do it and just, bask in his glory.
Just hit the mute button, Roddy. Thanks, big dog.
Fuck you, big dog.
Oh, interrupted right away.
why you coming out? He's coming out here to fight. He's not no suits. He's out here in his straight wrestling gear.
Last year we had Knight versus Reigns for the undisputed, Seth versus Drew for the world heavyweight, fatal 5-way for Rhea's title, Rhea versus Logan, Ray versus Logan for the U.S. title, Cena versus Solo plus more. Last year was good. I still think because, and if I think back in my memory to covering it, yeah, but at that time we kind of knew everything how it was all going to play out, and again, it is kind of what a Saudi show is now. What if I told you guys they add 4 or 5 matches to this card that are really cool? We don't know what else is going to be at this show yet.
You could read off that card right there and ask me where that show took place. I'm guessing probably a good 3 out of 5 times Saudi Arabia.
Right. Cena versus Solo. By the way, Solo in his wrestling gear, so I think Solo's getting ready to take a bump or two.
Right. AR1 just throwing up all the ones. So absolutely.
So
main event girl following suit.
So Boston might be right. Maybe this one, I mean, last year's was better than this year's. Maybe. I don't know what else they're going to do on this particular card, but I'm not loving, we're not that far away from November 2nd, and I'm still not.
Yeah, I'm not excited. I'm not intrigued. I'm more like, really?
It's hard to say that this show is shit when again, we don't know the show, right? We're preempted. So far, it's been kind of, right? Like, we're not there yet, but I agree. I don't like the build. I will give you that much, but I have no idea yet. Okay.
I was told that our bloodline is stronger now. This is the first, just one-on-one conversation we've seen between Roman and Solo. So this is really interesting.
Yeah,
this is a lot of conversation tonight of Solo, quit fucking up.
Survivor Series getting a special start time of 5:30. God bless Triple H. I love it. I love it. I love this.
Yeah, I like sleeps and I like dinner.
When one promotion starts this at 8 o'clock and keeps us till 2 a.m, I will appreciate the one that starts us at 5:30 and gets us out of here by 11.
Yeah, especially when I gotta show up at work at 5. I gotta clock in at 5 a.m. Motherfucker. I can fix this.
So Roman's chastising Solo, essentially.
So Roman's saying, all I want to do is put us back in the promised land. He's trying to fix this.
Mm-hmm.
We need to be together. He wants a unified front.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, John, I don't agree with this statement at all. I think that Solo had earned his spot at the right hand of Roman. Roman remember, Roman named Solo as his successor. Not Jimmy, not Jay. It was Solo that was going to be the next tribal chief. And he took it and he earned it and he wiped out everybody in the process.
I feel like that's part of the whole package, though, with Solo, is that you feel like he hasn't earned it, that he took it, like you said. He doesn't. You're right. He doesn't deserve it. That he's the fucking seer. He's the king, or whatever, in Gladiator. Joaquin Phoenix in Gladiator. You feel like he's the spoiled prick that just got handed the crown and everything, instead of he's the one that deserved it and earned it.
Yeah, but ultimately he is the one that stuck the knife, or stuck the knife in the tribal chief to get that position, right? I love it. It's almost Shakespearean. Hashtag
my
Shakespearean.
name is Romulus Remus, and I will have my vengeance in this life or the next.
I love it. Love it. One of the best movies ever. The sequel coming out, eh?
Boo.
I know. They got it.
It looks so shit. It looks so
Hollywood
shit.
Is so lost.
We can't, again, it's Hollywood is wrestling. We can't come up with new ideas. So let's just rehash old ideas.
All of it. It's so funny.
So I want to now go back and rewatch, because my stepdad loved the first movie, and I watched that. That was one of the rotations all the way from New York to Florida, driving in a Dodge Caravan. So I've watched that movie more times than probably people who directed it. Yeah.
Ooh, acknowledge me as your tribal chief. Solo got some Nagas, buddy.
Well, this is what Roman did to Dwayne. We still have that fucking giant pendulum hanging in the balance there that no one forget, that we instantly forgot about. We could still get, if you smell.
Helen Hunt was never hot. Shut up, big dog.
I don't know. Twister, my guy. Twister.
That's what we're talking about. Twister.
Oh, yeah. I want to watch the remake of Twister. I feel like that might be somewhat better than the OG Twister. I went on a ride.
Holy shit.
What?
Roman barking.
You never change. I'll never change either. And then it snaps them. Snaps the fingers.
Look how good Solo is.
He's found the stroke that, bro, you didn't have they're dragging Jimmy out. I was gonna say,
if you won't change, then I won't change either. Snap. But the flow of Solo and being able to jump into like laughing at Roman.
OG Roman. He's what Roman was when he started. He's that Thanos-y vibe of even he did the fucking finger snap, my guy.
Mm-hmm.
But this could be where you get. I'm waiting for Jay to pop out now. Mm-hmm. Jay pops out and helps out here. This is how we end the show.
Yeah,
because now you took out my brother and all that. Ooh, as Roman's just laying waste to the bloodline by himself. You don't need no help.
He's still the big dog. Still the big dog. He's still the OTC. Oh, clothesline.
If you had
in the ring, I guess he wanted some more Superman punch.
He's grabbing the Ula Fala. This is like the Infinity Gauntlet.
Right. Big dog. She just was not in my age bracket. She's more your age bracket than mine. I know Anthony said earlier I'm 72. I'm younger than Tony Khan. Fuck off.
As Roman put on. No,
he's gonna get walked.
That's actually a nice callback, though. As Roman's putting the Ula Fala and then low blow.
Yeah, that's twice.
Roman's getting beat down now.
That is twice. Now we're gonna get Jay.
Yeah.
But literally, that's twice that Roman's had the Ula Fala around his neck and never been wasn't able to pull it off.
Right.
But this is where the bloodline makes their money. Strength in numbers. They are the jackals. They are the hyenas.
They managed to make like the NWO. We talked about this earlier of saying the NWO was such a great storyline. They managed to make the NWO and the NWO Wolfpack story work and fit perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what this is.
Because why? This feels kind of generational opposed to just breaking off.
It's family. Yeah. It's not just generic wrestlers thrown together. It's a little family. Spike to Roman.
Yeah, I don't believe that for a second, Damien. But if you want to believe the reports, go ahead.
They're even walking that shit back. I've already seen people walking that shit back, saying that the Rock's plans for WrestleMania have been in place since WrestleMania 40. It's amazing how when you just talk wrestling 24/7 and say you're a journalist, you get to fucking walk shit back and not say nothing.
Solo is dialed in. This is fucking excellent, guys. This is what other shows don't. And the fans out there that shit on WWE, this is just done so well. Another spike.
And this is how you're going to, as we got a Solo sucks chat, as we put the Ula Fala on the Solo. And I feel like this has got to be the end of Friday Night Smackdown as we're at the 10 o'clock hour.
Solo sucks.
But see, you teased Jay, but you didn't shoot your shot. You didn't fully deliver. You got meat on the bone still. You got time for this to simmer saute.
You do. And Roman said it. If I had my wise man, this wouldn't even be a problem.
I'm waiting for that to come back. I'm waiting for
And we said it. The wise man's the guy that's got to bring everybody together.
He's the one with the visitor's pass on his phone. He's the linchpin, 100%, I feel, to all of this.
Never thought Helen Hunt was hot. Give me Natasha. Yeah, there you go. See, it's not just me, big dog.
Who?
I know.
Natasha? Who? What now?
As we go off the air, Carmen Electra. Whew. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is SmackDown. We're going to stick around for a little bit of Rampage, do our SmackDown post show in the process. Let us know how you felt about SmackDown tonight. Give us a rating out of 10. What did you think? What did you feel? What did you like? What didn't you like? Big night, MCMG, Roman Reigns, the Bloodline, a lot going on. Candice LeRae pinned Bailey. Who saw that coming?
I think it was. I almost feel like this was a really good sandwich, and the bread might have outshone the sandwich a little bit to a halfway extent of the beginning and the ends might have been better than the middles. Like the Motor City Machine Guns coming out was great. Cool. That's you get that nice little that pickle crunch or whatever in a sandwich that you didn't know you asked for pickles. You said them, leave the pickles off and they still throw them on there. So you get that nice little surprise snap crunch there. But you started off with Jay and Solo, and you ended with Roman getting laid out by the Bloodline. And now, at this point, Roman, the message has got to be clear. You need help. You need reinforcements. You need a wise man. You need to bring the forces back together here. Avengers assemble, motherfucker. So,
and you got to make it desperate. And again, Roman has been so dominant. You need him to take L's. You need him to take beatings. You need him to be on the losing end of shit. You need a reason to bring in reinforcements. If Roman just keeps whooping ass, he doesn't need help. Yeah, I got this.
He's Rhea Ripley. He's like Rhea Ripley with the Liv storyline of Rhea needs to take an L or two and everything. Yeah. So it makes sense because if they just showed up and dominated, and now granted, Roman was showing up and dominating until he got caught up for half a second. He took his eye off the ball a little bit and wanted to put on the Ula Fala. And then that's when he got snatched up and got jumped on and everything like that. So
that's it.
He doesn't look weak, but it's still there's a hole in the armor. There's it's not fully succinct here.
As if anyone's curious, we got Mark Briscoe taking on Butcher, which is so much better than anything Jericho's doing. Thank fuck. But let's see what this has to say. I've been joking around about Rikishi getting involved for a while. I think that's why he keeps chirping online.
No, he just wants clicks.
I can't wait. Sorry.
No, I said Rikishi just wants clicks.
No, Jay, in my opinion, is a miss. Don't tell me patience. This was a moment. They have 2 weeks, man. This was perfect. And not getting Jay, like, what, you want Jay to be frivolous like other wrestlers that we watch on a weekly basis where they just change their mood or change their mind? Jay is hurt. Jay is pissed off. If he just in 1 week changed his mind, it makes everything else that happened with Jay meaningless.
How we even got here was a year, 2 years in the making. So if this man's going to change his personalities like he changed his underwear, like that's just like you said, it's frivolous. It's so out of character. It makes no sense. And you're fast forwarding through so much storytelling.
It would be like, hey man, you want to come back? No. Are you sure? All right, fine. Like, nah,
you twisted my arm. I guess so.
Right. Now, and again, and this is, I completely agree with this comment as far as they're doing a great job making Solo look strong as possible. You have to make the hero look desperate and repeating. I don't give a fuck if the Bloodline kicks the shit out of everybody from now to the night before Survivor Series. That's how you roll. And again, go back and watch any movie that you've ever watched. The hero looks hopeless. You know, you got Bruce Willis with bloody feet and a tank top, hoping we can find Hans on the roof. Like, you got to make desperation.
It is what Moxley and AW's doing with that whole faction, a little Bloodline-ish, just a little bit more Aryan.
Sorry, who?
Moxley and all of that with AW.
The difference is they are not beating up a Roman Reigns. That's my problem with the storyline.
Well, they don't have a Roman Reigns. It's hard to beat up a Roman Reigns when you don't have one.
It would be like if the Bloodline was beating up fucking it's not Los Ingobernables, Escobar and crew. What the fuck do they call them again? Legado. If they
Legado Fantasma.
If the Bloodline were coming out each week and beating up Legado or A-Town Down, nobody really gives a fuck. But they're taking out Jimmy. They're taking out Paul. They're taking out Roman. They took out KO. They took out fucking Cody. That's the difference with the storytelling. Is the villains, they just feel like bullies, not big deals. They're just bullying the shitty people on the roster. Nobody gives a fuck how many times you beat up the Dark Order. It doesn't mean shit.
Yeah, but they don't. That's the thing, is they don't have those people
That's
beat
not
up.
a me
They're not
problem.
going to
That's a
show up
them
and beat up a Hangman. They're not going to show up and beat a Swerve. They're not going to
But it
show
would
up.
be better if they did. And now I would get behind Swerve as a
It'd
baby.
be a whole lot cooler if you did.
It'd be a whole lot cooler if you did. Solo's looking strong. Roman Reigns needs to go to Monday Night Raw and get Sammy and Jay. I think it's the wise man guys.
Visitors pass. He needs to be out there. Call Roman Reigns.
Yeah. I think that's the Achilles heel right now, is he doesn't have his wise man.
Yeah, well, again, he's a man without an island. Pun intended, I guess, halfway a bit. And, he needs someone that's going to help, right the ship a little bit. He realizes now at least that he can't do this alone.
Right? 8 out of 10. And that's what you really need. If you're going to set up war games, you need a reason for Roman to need the help. And just beating him up. Oh, they beat him up last week, so they beat him up again this week. Go back and watch old wrestling where the bad guys just fuck people up week in and week out and week in. This is the week we're going to get them. Nope. This is the week we're going to get them. Nope. No.
That's why, and I know I'm pivoting it a bit towards AW because we've got Rampage going on as the Yankees win. Shout out. So we're 1 win away. But that's it. We're close to Subway Series. But yeah, the Neo Moxleys and all of that, 100% of like that can be that old school kind of. They show up, they beat everybody. They show up, they beat up everybody. They show up, they beat up everybody. All of that. It's you can run that for a bit because you have to establish them as a force. That's what you're doing now with Solo and the Bloodline.
Yeah. See, last week they did it, and there was no hope of Jay. This week we got a hope of Jay. So we're all sitting there going, Jay's coming, Jay's coming, Jay's coming. Oh man, Jay didn't come. Pause.
It's like being in a terrible cipher. You're waiting for the J to come to you, and it just misses you.
Right? 7.5 out of 10. That I think is my rating tonight. I think I would agree with 444. 7.5 seems fair for me. I don't quite feel like it was an 8. There was some soft spots where it kind of like my mind kind of wandered. The Cody stuff I'm not loving right now. MCMG and the Bloodline were the tail of the whole show for me.
This was all bread, no filler. I'm like a 7. 7's beat. I feel a little polite. Yeah. Like there was parts that were really great, but everything else that wasn't those was fluff.
A little bit.
I mean, we got Lash, so I will give credit to that. We got Lash. So that was good, but still little fluff, little stuff. Yeah. So
if you're not bringing out Jay there, don't do it. Sick of watching. Yeah, but it's not. I mean, Boston, I think you got your head.
The fact, though, that you feel that way is why they did that. That's the thing, is they're making you wait and bait on the hook 100% for that. Is, oh, well, Jay should be showing up any minute now. And it doesn't. You're like, God damn it, will they just get together? Right, so then you wait until they fucking get there. It's baiting the fucking hook. You don't give it away every week. You don't give the whole fucking package away. You don't give the whole story away. You bait the hook. You
the Avengers
along. You drag it along. You reel that shit in.
Yeah, the Avengers didn't assemble in the second scene, so I'm not watching the rest of this movie. It's fucking dumb.
Fucking Captain America didn't say Avengers assemble. He just said Avengers and they cut away. I'm pissed. I can't deal with it.
8.5 out of 10 says Ken. Wow, I thought Cody had Roman's back. Cody's busy doing nothing.
He's trying to not get jumped in parking lots or beat up by Austrians.
8 out of 10. Dale liked it. I'm with that. 6 out of 10. That's fair enough. But I didn't get what I wanted. My rating for SmackDown, I yielded to the consensus view. Okay.
I can't come up with numbers for some reason. So
8 out of 10.
I will say.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just he was just saying to the consensus of I can't come up with a number, so I will go with whatever the majority says.
Yeah, I thought there was I mean, a 7.5. I'm fine with. I wasn't exactly jumping out of my seat tonight. I think, like I said, the MCMG and the Bloodline kind of made the show for me. Anthony's got a good point though, Naomi, because he likes her. And Nia Jax on the same show. Perfection. There you go. You get bonus marks. So he goes 8.
You can no. You say perfection and still give it an 8 out of 10, my guy. That is far from perfection. That is an imperfect fraction, my guy. So I'm happy with a 7. I don't see too much of an issue with a 7.5. An 8 might be a bit of a stretch for me, but I mean, you can have that. That ain't even what I'm mad at. I'm more like, if you get into a 9 or a 10, that was not it. No.
And I mean, again, I think because again, we got to leave room for the really good shows, right? A little bit. 8 for Damien. Yeah, I'm fine with that. I think that's fair. 0, no Trish, as always. See money. SmackDown 9.5 would have been a 10 if Giovanni.
Yeah, where's Giovanni? He's still trying to get out of his fucking tracksuit.
What happened to that dude? This is the weirdest, the most Vince booking we've seen from Triple H. Is we're gonna revamp the guy, vignette the guy, bring the guy out, and then forget he exists.
We're just waiting for a fucking pay-per-view for Italy.
Yeah, Mark Briscoe gets the dub. 8 out of 10 knee pads. That's fair. 7 last week. They had regular bread. This week, marble rye. All right. The storytelling.
We're gonna have a bread discussion because I prefer mine green with hundreds written on it.
All right, Sasha Banks.
Yeah, exactly. God damn it, boss. Michelle.
Jay has no reason to help yet. All Roman said was,
how do you feel that next week you will be here for AEW Dynamite in a Ring of Honor ladder match?
Everywhere I've seen
between Jericho and Briscoe.
Anywhere I've seen people say, "Oh, I can't wait for this match," I've taken the opportunity to shit on it. It's gotten me a lot of heat online, but I can't stomach. Can Jericho get up the ladder? Like, Big Bill's gonna boost him up the fucking ladder, right?
Well, I would just send out an ad for 23andMe and those to make sure that they're not children of incest and everything like that. That make sure that their chromosomes split. Because I mean, the learning tree might just be straightforward, like a fucking.
Like, are we really convinced that this? And they didn't even call it a ladder match. It's like a what do they call it? Ladder card.
El ladero match, El Champion. But I got Kyle O'Reilly. What is it? I got Kyle O'Reilly show up and KJ disappears. I'm waiting for Kevin Owens to show up and KJ disappears. You're not dealing well with.
I'm allergic to this.
With Hayes in the name show up.
I'm allergic to fucking Jericho's bullshit. Aaron Solo's still in AEW. Holy fuck.
What?
Yeah, I agree with you, Richard. You can't. It makes. It's kind of like what we went through recently with like a Wheeler Yuta or a Kyle Fletcher. You can't be something and then just flip. That's where you lose credibility with your audience.
Flip. Game on. Flip.
9 out of 10, especially since MCMG got to use their full name. There you go. Okay. Solo greater than Liv Morgan.
But see, that's again though, when we're rating things or doing things based on moments, on a big moment for Motor City, which was great.
Yeah.
But a great moment does not a good show make. That's the thing. You can't base something off of a good, 2 minutes when it's 2 hours.
I can actually tell you what's going on. That's funny. Somebody brought up Level Up. I can actually tell you what's going on Level Up right now.
Fair enough. I can't do that, but I can tell you Aaron Solo, not Red Solo Cup, but he's taking on Kyle O'Reilly with a Wild Stallion as the official with Aubrey Edwards here.
Right.
Actually, why are all Kyles in AEW so boring? Oh, Kyle Fletcher, Kyle O'Reilly. I think Kyle's just a boring name, respectfully. Yeah, shout out. I apologize to anyone who watches this with a name Kyle.
Right.
Kyle, but you might be boring.
7
yourself boring.
7 out of 10, 7.5 out of 10. See, that seems to be the average-ish score. 5 seems a bit low, Richard, but that's fair enough. Half good, half bad. Okay. Yeah. 8 out of 10. I give some points for some of the stuff in the middle. I don't understand why Candice LeRae pinned, but you might be onto something there, even though I didn't love it.
I think that's where you're you're starting to strong arm and, you know, fast track a bit of that turn. I feel of you. I'm not saying it's going to happen within the next like couple weeks or anything, but I think it's a way to incorporate them into TV and still work into a story.
Yeah, I that's fair enough, Boston. I just don't know, like, Boston, do you watch weekly, like episodic TV at all? Like, or do you get frustrated when like the good guy doesn't win in like the second episode of the season? That's my question, because to say that it's repetitive, it's just 2 weeks in a row. Like, it's not a
He
lot of
just waits until the series is done and then just binge watches like the whole thing.
But again, you
like
would give
one
up on the
sitting.
show. Like, if this was the story, like if this was season 9 of fucking the Bloodline, we're in episode 2, and Jay is not willing to help Roman. Like, again, the bad guys win in episode 2. What's going to happen in episode 3, 4? Yeah, I'll tell you what, they might beat the shit out of Roman and family again next week. We might not get Jay for 2 more weeks.
Run through this world all alone. God, take your soul. It sounds like an episode of fucking, you know, Sons of Anarchy, in The Walking Dead, Breaking Bad, whatever serial show that you watch. Of the heroes don't win every episode.
No, but that's what makes. And again, you use the example of like Sons. Like, shit went bad for like the whole season.
A whole season. A whole season.
Yeah, then it was like episode 8, 9, and 10 or whatever that they swung it around and saved the day. But like, it was like just fucking murder and chaos. Their fucking shit's blowing up. That to me is what I'm watching with this, of like the bad guys are fucking up the good guys at every turn. That's what I think this is.
Which, by the way, as far as save the day, you mean as in they killed the FBI agent, they fucking hijacked a school bus, they killed the fucking Irish gun runner and everything.
The heroes won.
It's a little, the heroes may not be the biggest of heroes, but they still won.
Me and that girl saying hero has to be desperate. This is the answer. Nick and I have been saying this for weeks.
Oh, wise man, dangerously. 100%. He's the glue.
I think that's what it is. Roman gets beat up again, and he's like, "I need my wise man."
We mentioned this literally months ago, to where he's the one that's out there of, you know, with the visitors pass. He's the one that has the interactions beforehand.
Yeah,
on Monday Night Raw, was making, you know, the bridges and everything like that, so he can sit there and, you know, be out there talking to Jay and have a conversation and see them backstage. And again, the man's got a silver tongue. I'm waiting to see him backstage there and just all Roman Reigns.
And I think Big Dog brought this up a couple times. Maybe someone else brought it up as well. But the idea that Jimmy could lose the IC title to Braun Breaker in the rematch, thanks to the Bloodline, but I don't know if it totally fits in my head yet.
It does with the Jacob line. You might have sold it. You might have set that up there with that.
Those viewers.
Right. You could set it up to where you could even get a Jay versus a Jacob, say, at a crown jewel without the title. And it's a way to, because that was a hardcore pivot with what they did with Braun Breaker. That man was set up to be a babyface, and then they pivoted like they fucking were stumbly bumbly here.
I didn't feel stumbly bumbly at all, but I mean,
again, they go from this man out there taunting and going at Gunther and everything, and all of a sudden he shakes Jay's hand, and I'm so proud of you, and then turns around and spears the shit out of him. I don't know, the next week.
But it wasn't stumbly; it was a smooth snapback.
Well, I'm just saying,
right? Yeah,
it didn't make a ton of sense. It didn't. It was a clear pivot. It was, I was saying, it's, you know, a sorority chick leaving a party, you know, trying to walk in heels. It was a little, you're pivoting.
Right. Learning Tree should be the one to defend AEW against Moxley. Yeah, let's go. I'm not even
with how much Moxley's talked about burning down forests and everything, that fucker will go quicker than fucking Kinman.
Well, yeah, I agree with you. I think injuries played a factor in what Braun did, and I'm okay with it. But it'd be interesting, though, because if he wins the title back, that couldn't have been the plan. So, I mean, I'm very curious where, again, it's like Randy Orton. You never trust the bad guy. He might act nice to your face. He may stab you in the back when you turn around.
Hey, we've got, you know, Jamie Hayter, backstage right now with Renee. Did you see the picture floating around? And I need you to confirm this for me because you were here live, official, like a referee whistle for Dynamite. Does Lance Archer look like Drew McIntyre?
Dude,
Tired right now, 100% of my God. Like, holy shit, he looks like Drew McIntyre balding.
it's funny because during Dynamite, covering Dynamite Live, he was just kind of like wallpaper in the back. I didn't really pay attention to him. I did notice that he looked different, but it wasn't until the next day I woke up and the first thing I saw was a picture where it was like, what happened to Drew McIntyre?
Out of time,
Funny
so
as
say
shit.
goodbye.
So Jake trades Lance Archer to Don Callis for Los Ingobernables, who Don didn't manage. And now Lance, who we're so used to the big braid, just comes out looking like Timu.
The fucking murder hawk out here looking like he's been murdered, but like he's Drew McIntyre instead of Drew McIntyre.
Drew McIntyre.
He's the Scottish sycophant instead of the Scottish psychopath. Well, and then what? How did Brian Cage get there? So I guess the cage of agony is done. The gates have been sewn shut. They've been locked up. They've been padlocked.
Yeah, I will say this though. The problem right now is Don Callis' family with Fletcher, Takeshita, Archer, and Cage. That's formidable as a heel faction.
Right.
But then you also have Moxley's heel faction. Then you have the Elite's heel faction. Who is fighting all the bad guys?
Darby Allin. He's going to be Sting. I've seen a lot of people say it's either going to be like Darby or they're going to do Danielson. That's going to be like their Sting. Because think about it. I've seen people compare Moxley with the White Pool Combat Club to NWO.
Sting would be like, you make Darby like Sting.
Yes, like Sting, not Sting. I mean, Christ, at this point, he might be the best babyface we could have on the roster potentially, because you'd be hard pressed to really find a true babyface, and especially a babyface that's actually over or matters.
Yeah.
Adam Cole's fucking return as a babyface was wheat sauce, applesauce. MJF is a heel. And all of this, it's just everyone in AEW is a heel.
Well, yeah, who are the good guys?
Somehow it's going to be the fucking Elite. They're going to switch it around, and they're going to try and end up as the goddamn heroes of this.
You're so sorry, Tony.
No, they're going to sit there and they're going to use this. So they already don't like us, so we need to make something that they really don't like. So then when we save AEW, we're the good guys. They're it's the 7. This is goddamn the boys. I'm waiting for one of them to pop up as Homelander with this shit.
Right.
Then a bunch of assholes who think they're the heroes in this story. No.
Says one of O'Reilly. So what do you think of O'Reilly? That's funny. One arm looks really small. Well, then again, I guess you know what he's doing in the hotel each night. But
you know what he did during his injury time.
So O'Reilly's going to fight Okada now. I'm so confused because the conglomeration are in like a rivalry with the Elite. They're in the rivalry with Jericho. Like there's no clear, like there's so few baby faces. They're all fighting all the bad guys. OC got laid out by Moxley. What are we doing?
Yeah,
what are we doing?
The thing is, it's run like, you remember when you're growing up and you had your action figures, you're talking wrestling with your buddies and everything, and everybody loves the heel because they're the badass, and I can hit you with a steel chair and I can just do whatever because I'm the heel. That's AEW is at this point. There's not a big fucking babyface. Like, is Kenny Omega gonna show up randomly out in the blue and just be the ultimate hero? Diverticulitis man's gonna show up and just be the hero. Like, Ospreay is getting fucking worked over as your top babyface. Danielson's semi-retired.
Right. Now I'm getting another package from Deonna and Taya. They've been doing
the
these
New
for
Jersey
weeks.
Housewives is this? Yeah, we got Peraza and Taya Valkyrie out here, and
Who are they mad at?
their tailor, I don't know, their hairdresser. Like I said, this looks like Real Housewives in New Jersey. I
Whoa.
feel like their names are Carmela and Stefania or something.
I don't know. They're gorgeous, if you ask me. And I just don't know who they're cutting promos on.
This whole thing looks like it has a coat of rich mahogany on it because the background's brown. They're super spray tanned. The coats are brown. Everything in this whole thing is brown.
Mac Daddy somehow became a commentator, by the way, because his partner got his girlfriend pregnant. So now Mac Daddy has to be
wife.
Oh, yeah, shotgun wedding. I forgot.
Be nice, God damn it! What did Ruby Soho? What did Angela Parker ever do to you?
It was a shotgun wedding, though.
You don't gotta say it. You don't gotta say it.
It's oh shit! I slipped 1 5-hole. I better marry you before the buzzer goes off.
Yo,
come on. Anna Jay getting a lot of love lately and a lot of TV time. I'm happy about that.
It's so weird because her boyfriend or fiance, what have you, is so shit on this show, and she's so well done on this show. Like, I know we all want put them two together, and they'll just be the ultimate douchebag. They'll be the Miz and Maurice. They'll be the Morrison and Taya, faction and everything like that. Which is funny because two of those people you have on your roster. But anyways,
so Anna Jay is going to fight Trish Adora. Do we know
Trish is pretty solid? Honestly, I've seen her. She's mostly used on Ring of Honor. She's pretty solid, but yeah. And then Battle of the Belts tomorrow. We're getting Mariah May versus Anna Jay. But yeah, I was saying Anna Jay's somehow gotten over as a babyface in the women's division when she's with Jungle Boy, who's the biggest asshole.
Right? She's actually getting better at wrestling, and she again. If you are a promoter trying to talk people into buying stuff and showing up, Anna Jay's a good woman to do it with. There's something there for her. The problem is she's surrounded by nonsense, and they don't develop well enough. I think she could be a superstar.
They didn't have a true plan for Mariah May after she won the belt off of Toni Storm. Her versus Anna Jay could be you backslid into something pretty solid and pretty great for your women's division.
The main event Mafia versus BCC. Hilarious. Hologram fight for AEW. Talk about, it's going to be the Hologram Commander. Maybe Vikingo if they can get him back against Moxley and crew. What the fuck?
I'm waiting for a team AEW versus team BCC.
It's fucked. OC is taken out by Mox, but Conglomeration was nowhere to be found, even though they're in a faction. Exactly. But at the same time, Mark was there earlier dealing with Jericho. Again, none of this makes sense. It's Nick said it. It's like when you're playing with your toys as a kid and your short-term memory makes you forget what you just thought of, and then you go to the next thing that you thought of, and then the next thing that you thought of. There is no consistency at all.
But it's so crazy because there's a concept. I can see a bit of the concept. It's a lot of failure to execute, though.
Nick, on to another one because that could be it. I'm not sure anymore what that was referencing.
Fair enough. You have that.
Yeah. 316. We're not clicking on your dom comments anymore.
I feel like your parents should have worn a condom at this point, respectfully.
Hologram take Mox belt. He's on there. You
go. Holberg. We need Holberg shirts. We need Wrestling Observer, Inquirer shirts, and 100%.
Yes. Yeah. Do you remember they were trying to set up the BCC versus CMLL until everybody got deported?
Whitepool Combat Club, American History Month, all of that.
Everybody got deported. Remember all the passport issues?
Right, they are very much there. Just make AEW great again as a faction. The only white mate based in AEW was Willow.
That might not be an accurate description, but I know what you mean.
Right. Oh,
we're getting there. Deal with it. I have a treat. I'm watching Tanaka match in 2024. That doesn't sound like a treat. Mike Santana never thought it would happen. All right, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, he's watching House of Glory. So I'm assuming they're a main event.
Main event.
Tanaka versus Santana. It's crazy that Masuro Tanaka, who was out there, having bangers with Mike Austin, was out there still wrestling in 2024.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. That's I
Right.
just don't. But why does Trish Adora have $1 in her garter? I didn't notice the dollar, but that's fucking hilarious.
Because it make you hollow.
I want more Athena. Make her the first lady of the Hurt Syndicate. Athena is currently in a feud with Abaddon, I do believe.
Is that because it's October?
Yes.
Fair enough. And Abaddon is actually talented.
It's been going on forever.
You would be hard pressed to believe it because you only see her once a month like a fucking jack-o'-lantern. But yeah, I'm still so surprised that Athena has just spent all of her time in Ring of Honor. Like, for everybody that wanted to get up in arms about so-and-so and so-and-so showing up in NXT and everything, where's the people getting up in arms about Athena, who spent her whole AW career in Ring of Honor as women's champion? You think by now she might have at least gotten called up to a Dynamite, had a collision match, a Rampage even.
Mm-hmm. Willow would be the next Bailey in a good company. Again, I think you had a lot to do with like Willow was on fire, and Willow still is. She's so good. She gives good matches, and they basically handed her the belt so she could give it to Sasha because Sasha hurt her ankle during a match in New Japan. Dumb booking, sad booking, and then Willow's had good matches, better matches than Mercedes for weeks now, and Willow is nowhere to be found. It's sad. It's depressing. It hurts my heart. I really like Willow.
It hurts my heart.
Hurts my heart. Trish is so indulgent. It's so weird.
I like I said, I like Trish Adora. Very much seeing her more on Ring of Honor and everything. Like, I wish Ring of Honor replaced, and we've said this now for almost 2 years at this point, and I'm hoping it's getting closer to happening than it is. That Ring of Honor needs to replace Rampage. Yeah. If you had Rampage, if we were watching Ring of Honor right now, if this was your Ring of Honor match right now,
well, Rampage,
you started off with Mark Briscoe, Ring of Honor champion. Sorry,
Rampage is going away, as you are. But Rampage is going away. I would almost, like, people are talking about, we're getting Shockwave. Make that your Ring of Honor show, that you put the Yutas and the Garcias and you're young and up and coming. You need some type of developmental with this company.
You're Jack Perry's. You make your own NXT, but well, here I'll leave a Shockwave and all of that, and you can discuss if it's going to be on FS1 or not here.
Hi there, everyone. Sorry I'm late. Had to play with my band tonight. I'm a drummer. Jordan, I hope the gig went well. I hope you did good. I hope you're feeling good. Jericho and Monet need to feud factions and add men to Monet's faction. I don't even know where to go with that. I used to love watching Ring of Honor in the good times, but the show now sucks. Davis, welcome. I was an Honor Club member. I loved Ring of Honor. I was a big Ring of Honor fan. It was sad that the original incarnation of Ring of Honor failed to be. Tony comes out and cuts a heartfelt promo on what he's going to do with Ring of Honor now that he's buying it, and he hasn't delivered on any of the promises. We tried to cover it here on the channel a few weeks, and it was bad. It wasn't good. You buy Ring of Honor and you start throwing the Dark Order on it, and you start throwing all these basically the talent that you're not using anywhere else. Instead of releasing them, you're throwing them on Ring of Honor, when Ring of Honor could have been so much more. You could have made Ring of Honor a destination, but they've missed it. It makes me sad. Yeah, Ring of Honor. It's not what it used to be, and there is some real good talent. And actually, somebody made a really good point. I used to love watching Ring of Honor in the good times, but now the show sucks. Got that one. I just read that one. Where was the other one? Yeah, why are AEW fans so silent? Like, AEW fans spend so much time criticizing, MCMG can't go to NXT, or this one or that one, or, accusing Triple H of being racist and this and that. And I don't know who said it, so I apologize. But why is Athena the only one? Like, Brian Cage is the Ring of Honor TV champion. Guess where he was on Wednesday? Dynamite. Mark Briscoe on every fucking show. The only other one I think we don't see is the pure champion very often. Who is the pure champion in Ring of Honor right now? Backstabber. This is a pretty fun match. And she pancakes her. Yeah, fire Monet and give Anna Jay half the money you were giving Monet, and you would be a much better company. Destination Movie Soho coming back. Yeah, eventually. What do you think about SmackDown tonight? I gave it a 7.5. There was good stuff, real good stuff in it. There was just some soft spots that I didn't really get into, wasn't overly excited. Big night as far as MCMG making their debut. Love it. And yeah, I mean, overall, not a bad show, not a great show. Red Velvet, never. She's great. And she botches like a motherfucker, but she's fun while she's doing it. Lee Moriarty is the pure champion. We used to have guys like Josh Woods, right? Like, yeah. That was me, KJ. I said not only allowed is Ember. Yeah, you're kind of right. Lee, I guess we occasionally see on like a Rampage or a Collision. Athena, we never see. And I do think that's the problem is if we as a group were to do like a tier list of the AEW roster, we would rank who we think's the best. And what you would learn is the lowest half of the tier list. And maybe Nick and I need to do this one night. But the people that I find we will rank lowest on the tier list are the people that get booked the most. That was my problem with Wrestle Dream. All right, I took a lot of heat for not liking Wrestle Dream, but I didn't like Wrestle Dream when it became the Tony Show. When it was Hologram, the Young Bucks, Jericho, you kill your show. You kill your Dynamite. And I got Harley Cameron, another lady that I'm a big fan of. Shane Taylor got hurt. Big Nick's not here, but I didn't know he got hurt. I mean, that's another guy. If you had Shane Taylor on your weekly show, just from a standpoint of getting the crowd invested in what you're saying. Oh, there you go. That's why he said Big Nick. Okay. Again, I think if Nick and I did a tier list, now, unfortunately, there's like 200 people in AEW, but Harley Cameron going to fight Statlander. Oh, Joey. Tomorrow. But I really do think that the people that are the least talented or that bring the least amount of eyes or that have the worst matches get booked the most, get used the most. And when there's somebody that we're really into or really behind, they either don't get booked. And I wonder how much of it is ego. I wonder how much of it is bias, is nepotism. Literally every Ring of Honor title has been on AEW at some point, besides the women, which is Athena. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Right? Yeah, exactly, Nick. Exactly. And again, what to me it did more than any other show or any other pay-per-view this year is it really highlighted what is hurting AEW the most. Right? That's it. Nick and I were losing our mind, cheering, screaming, bouncing. Woo, go. And then we died. But we died at Tony Khan's favorite wrestlers. And I think a lot of the fans did. I think the in-arena fans did the same thing. I could be wrong, but that's really what it felt like. When we were getting the Willow was killing it. We would get those early matches, that triple threat, arguably one of the matches of the year. But here come the Young Bucks. Here comes Hologram. Hologram in a 2 out of 3 falls match on a pay-per-view. But I'm with you. I think Harley's fucking awesome. Harley, again, has that thing that I think all wrestlers need, and she has it in spades. She has it in, and I know what you're thinking, but I'm going to be nice here. She's got charisma. She's got an attitude. She's got a character. She knows who she is. You need interesting people on your shows. We all love Harley. Right? If you were giving Harley Cameron the TV time you were giving like a Monet, I'd be more intrigued. We just said about Anna Jay. Anna Jay's cooking. Deonna Purrazzo, Taya Valkyrie, cutting good promos. To fight nobody. Who are they cutting promos on? Yes, literally and figuratively. Wrestle Dream was a 9.8 out of 10, according to one brain dead AEW tribalist. To several brain dead tribalists, it was phenomenal. It was pay-per-view of the year. Tony Khan's core audience, which, you know what? Come 2025, it's going to be 300,000 people watching these shows. The audience is dwindling. Even some of the diehard fans are giving up on this shit. But it wasn't a good show. And the problem is, it's almost like sleight of hand. It's like Tony Khan does like the coin behind the ear trick, and the idiot people like that are like, oh my God, a coin. And they didn't see all the other bullshit. So you got a really good match with Ospreay. You got another really good match. Then you get some chaos in the main event, but you ignore all the shit that sucked. This one's specifically brain dead.
Thanks. Speaking of shit that sucks and specifically brain dead. Hi, everybody. But
did you give the show?
I would like to take this moment to announce, and I wanted to bring this up because I want to just hear you go on about this. I would like to announce my retirement from in-ring action. I've had all of 0 matches, but I 100% would like to announce my retirement from in-ring action. As you know, I'm sure my father, who has also had 0 matches, but is still, I guess, allegedly actively doing it. But yes, Ava Raine has, fortunately or unfortunately, depending on how you look at it, retired from in-ring professional wrestling. As I have the Undisputed Kingdom on my screen.
I'm a little bummed out we didn't talk about this earlier.
We got Rampage. We got Rampage.
Shane and Lee.
What? I got the Undisputed Kingdom. Now, why does the Undisputed Kingdom still exist if Adam Cole is a babyface? That's all. That whole storyline's fucked. That is a fucking turd, and just flush it. Now I got Shane and Moriarty here.
Yeah, and now we got the Gates of Agony.
Well, we got Gate. They're Gape instead of Gate.
Why do people in AEW do promos in the stairwell?
Because they don't own cars.
Or it's their house.
No, this is their apartment.
Oh, fucking hell, dude. That's funny shit. Yeah, back to Ava. Dude,
Ava Raine. It's like, of course, you're the one that sees that. Like, it's so funny. You despise Ava Raine, but you have all the breaking news on Ava Raine.
I fucking died. It was like me retiring from the NHL.
No, that's literally what you said. For everyone in our group chat, KJ said, I'd also like to announce my retirement from the NHL.
Right.
Folks, I'd like to retire as a Buffalo Bill. Buffalo, I await your contract for the one day. I will retire as a Buffalo Bill and a New York Yankee all in the same day.
Yeah, like it's fucking hilarious to me. When I read that, I almost fell over of like, wait a minute. Like
I didn't even think about that. I just was out loud. I was like, but she only had like one match. So like, is that really a retirement? Yeah. Like, right. Can you start? Can you retire before you start?
Yeah, I've decided, like, I'm not going to be a horse jockey anymore. Like, I'm not going to do it.
Aubrey keeps saying nay every time I jump on it.
That's just a rumor. I've never tried.
That's a rumor. That's a rumor. Don't spread that because I'll get canceled like CM Punk did when he jumped on Jess.
But it was almost like the thing of like, wait a minute, she never wrestles, and she was like, I should get ahead of this. Like it's so dumb.
You don't need to announce that. Like, just fade off. Like, no one's out there. I can't wait for another Ava Rain match.
And the main event tonight is Maximum Male Models. Why is the Undisputed still wearing Undisputed t-shirts? Does Cole know his friend?
See, that whole story is just fucked. And
when this I'm gonna put out the Drew McIntyre meme when this happens, if it ever does happen, but it won't happen for about a decade. But I prayed for this.
And it happened, but it's just like, this is your main event. I officially retired from eating wings. Well, then you can just still watch us. Go and watch the replay. Go and watch us. We'll try and do it, roughly once a month, what have you here. We got to make sure.
MDB, that's you stupid, man. That's awesome. You know what? I wasn't going to, but being that I'll be right back.
Fair enough. As KJ's taking a pause for the cause. There we go. As I've got MXM right now in the ring, and I will admit, like, they've been a good fit in AEW. Of honestly, this tag, like what we're getting in this tag division in AEW, should be prominently featured a bit more. Granted, this shouldn't be the main event. I will say that on a Rampage, but granted, I feel Rampage is starting to go the way of the dinosaur. If I feel like it's going to be canceled sooner rather than later, but I like a focus on the tag division. But that's the thing, is we know everybody that they build up here will just get fed to the art. Okay, I was like, this man's already going to show up already that fast. All right, but yeah, everybody's going to get fed just to the Young Bucks, and will, if and when they ever actually have a tag match here. Undisputed Kingdom and Cole feels like when the NWO became white and red, but Conan returns still in Wolfpack colors. They're not, I mean, it's all just convoluted as hell and everything. Like, even Adam Cole's excuse for being a babyface was honestly really not that great. It was just more of, well, Max didn't like me, so I didn't like him. It's just so fucking weird. And they flip-flop so much. Wasn't PP the number one tag contenders? You're here every week, so you know better than me. But yeah, last I saw, they were out here getting smashed with a hammer by Moxley and the American History Mox and all that. So they just lost, actually. So they just lost. So they slide down the totem pole here. Is I actually don't, like I said, I don't mind MXM. And they've actually got a gimmick. They've got a bit of a thing going here a bit. If AW realized a little bit more that it's AW and it's not WWE, I think it would do them a world of service of if they focused more on what they're doing versus trying to be what they're doing. What it is to say, MDB, I'm serious. What? Oh, Rampage made me go watch a Christmas movie. Which Christmas movie, Anthony? Now I need to know, because, I mean, granted, heresy that you're watching a Christmas movie before Halloween's even happened, but I guess if we're going to go on a tangent, but what is your go-to Christmas movie? You can let us know in the chat. Let me know. I want to know, because I got a few, but they're more like the old school too, like Burl Ives, silver and gold. Yukon Cornelius is very much in a regular Christmas movie I watch. Or it was the Christmas with No Santa Claus, where you had the story of Kris Kringle and all of that, as MXM hits their double team finisher. And again, with the pose, I feel like they didn't constantly hit the pose, this match would probably be over. 1, 2, 2 count. Yeah, it's where he's out there with the put one foot in front of the other. As I'm in picture right now. Christmas with the Cranks, Jingle All the Way. Oh, that's one of my favorite movies of all time. I know the names of the reindeer because of Jingle All the Way, and I have to do it in the honor voice. It's Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donner, Blitzen. I still remember that constantly of him running down the street and everything, or he's running to the radio station. Look what I have for you. A nice shiny red ball. Do you want to trade? With the Rock'em Sock'em jetpack that goes, it's turbo time. And remember, you're my number one customer. Oh, that's such a good movie. And has a sneaky wrestling tie-in because Big Show, Paul White, was in that and played the biggest elf. Yes. Thank you. You're welcome. Nick, I'm watching the horror Christmas movie. It's a Wonderful Knife. A little bit of horror, a little bit of Christmas. There you go. I haven't heard of that one, but I feel like that almost calls for like a Krampus or something like that. If you go in horror with Christmas, yeah, Krampus tends to be the go-to a little bit. I feel it's Silent Night, Bloody Night, I believe is the title of it, or it's at least Bloody Night. It's the dude, as I'm in picture, by the way. But it's the dude that is in Stranger Things, and he plays Scarlett Johansson, Scarlet Witch's dad in the Marvel movies. He's the Red Agent and all that. But yeah, to where he plays Santa Claus and he just messes people up. Bad Santa, my Christmas movie. Fax was one of the bad elves. Yeah, he was the biggest elf. Speaking of the biggest elf, if you can, there we go.
I'll show you Bad Santa.
Well, this shows how well Rampage is captivating and drawing us in as we're out here talking about Christmas movies in October.
Someone said National Lampoon. Oh, Trekpedia. Yeah, that's my classic.
Holiday Road.
It's the best, man.
It's no good.
Merry Christmas.
All right, shit, it was full. Am I the cousin Eddie of this?
Yeah.
Yeah. You didn't even hesitate. Yup.
You'd be the one bringing the guy in the bow, like you said it. No good floor flushing.
No good. Now.
I always say Die Hard 2, just because people get mad at me.
No, I've never heard Die Hard 2 question.
No, Die Hard as well.
Die Hard is definitely questioned.
Die Hard as well.
Fair enough.
But part 2 does take place at Christmas as well.
But
I think they use Let It Snow in the final credit.
You out there like A Christmas Story, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Have you seen Terrifier 3? People, I saw this going around. The Terrifier 3 was gory, but I mean, it's no worse than a Jericho match. So there you go.
Yeah, Ricky, what up? Yeah, no, I respectfully.
Who do you think?
Some movies like that to me, like it's like even like the Hostel movies and shit like that. If it's a little bit, it's just gore to just to be gore. Like I don't need to see gore just to be gore. I'd rather have a story.
Mm-hmm. I quote Elf all the time.
I can't do Elf.
Elf is awesome.
It's nails on a chalkboard to me for some reason.
Really? I love Elf.
And I like Will Ferrell, and I especially like Will Ferrell because my wife hates Will Ferrell. So I'll sit there and bust out I could be brown, I could be blue, violet's got.
It's a relatively new one with Seth Rogen.
This is the end.
Last Christmas.
Oh, yeah, I haven't watched that. I've heard about it and everything. I haven't watched it. I watched this at the end and everything.
Did you just bleed in my drink? Dude, that with who's the new Captain America dude?
Anthony Mackie.
Yeah, Anthony Mackie.
Yeah, and it's got and
the dude from Third
Holy Hospital. Yeah, he was getting Roseanne. He was I know Haley. No, it's not Haley Joel Osment. You know who we're talking about. Move along.
No, it's the dude from
the tip of my tongue.
He's been in like thousands of movies. What the fuck's his name? It's 3 names. Help us out.
Right, fact checkers.
Batman
yes.
Batman Returns is Loki. Yes, you're right.
Boo.
By the way, the match is excellent, folks.
Sure it is.
Lisa's still on point. I mean, Anna Jay deserves it just as much as anyone else. I mean, she's better than I'd rather Anna Jay be the champion than Mercedes.
Right? Oh, and it's Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Thank you, MDB.
Gordon-Levitt. That movie, if you guys haven't seen that movie, it's worth a watch. I've watched it.
Anna Jay is not winning the title over Mariah May. I will say that.
No.
Anna Jay should be one of the focal points of your women's division going forward.
Yeah, and Clarence has some real good parents.
Yeah.
One Friday after next. Yeah.
Oh, yo Pac, he's Pac, no Pac, none. Yeah, that's 100. That's a definite Christmas movie. I am a boy, Damon.
Pimp down,
pimp in distress. Top flight, bro. I used to do Target asset protection and everything like that, and especially on like Black Fridays and everything, we'd have the little fucking jackets that say Target security. Every time I'd always look at somebody and be like, top flight security of the world, Craig.
All right. Yeah.
The 30, the 40, the 35, 47.
Yeah, look, there you go.
Do something, do a little thing for a piece. I say that every stream. Do something strange for a little piece of change.
Facts.
Oh man, so with 1, 2, breaking a hump.
All you ever hear in AEW show commercials is talent saying how they love AEW.
What you don't see is Tony Khan with the Colt 45 and 2 zigzags right behind them and everything. He's like, Smithers, now say you cut the promo.
You're right.
Tell us how great we are.
Santa's little helper, Miz and Paige.
Well, and so, they brought it up, and you said, whatever towards me and everything. How do you feel about, Jingle All the Way? Yeah, you need to do it.
Right. Oh, the Jingle All the Way popped me because I knew right away how much you love it, right? Because we've been doing
right, yeah, but it's up there. It's up there in Christmas movies that are so underrated. It is so fantastic.
Back when Sinbad was a thing.
Before he was a genie. Or was that post when he was a genie? We're fucking up the timelines.
Post? But yeah, no, Jingle All the Way is hilarious. Again, I mean, I still love fucking Home Alone.
Home Alone is the OG. Home Alone is the OG, triple OG with that. I'm gonna give you to the count of 10 to get your no good.
Get on your knees and tell me you love me. That's part 2.
I'm gonna give you to the count of 10 to get your no good loving keister off my lawn. 1, 2, 10.
Who do you rank the 4 house women? Who are the 4 house? I don't think in 2024 we're allowed to talk about the house women.
Vacuum cleaner, ironing board, broom,
dishwasher number 1.
Fucking hell. Oh, we're going to hell. We're going to hell.
Oh, and Private Party gets the win. They should. They're like the big rivals of Moxley, kind of.
Yeah, that's why they challenged the Young Bucks and lost pretty handily.
Not the house women. MTV's with me.
More than even Boston. House women. I need some. Yeah.
All right. Private Party talking shit to the camera. Said something about his mama.
Somebody call my mama. Somebody call my mama.
My feet instantly started moving when you said that. No, Boston, you can't see.
You got to do the little, side shuffle. Shout out there to Cat Miller.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Rampage. That was SmackDown. That was the show. That was also our our movie picks for the
Our
movie.
our early Christmas selection, as people are even saying, A Christmas Story, overrated. I feel as a
I'm
Christmas
with
movie
you.
gets watched to death. The TBS marathons kill it. The Rudolph movies. Are you with the stop motions, like
Yeah, I mean,
Yukon
that was like
Cornelius and everything, the Burl Ives
that was
shit?
my childhood, bro. I mean, like, when they
Yeah.
come on the fucking California raisins.
Hey, that's me and you. He's Mr. Heat Miser. He's Mr. 101. Let's have the Star Wars.
KJ with the dramatic yawn. Die Hard is, I always say Die Hard is my fave. All right. How do we transition out of this shit?
Folks, I think that does it for, another week in wrestling. 100%. SmackDown was solid. It was average to above average, 100%. A solid week in wrestling. And, it ended on a note so nice that we needed to start talking about Christmas movies in the middle of October.
Anthony actually had the ability to name 4 housewives. That's most impressive.
You can't say that as I'm watching fucking the intro scroll for Star Wars. That was impressive. Most impressive.
Right? TNT loves Star Wars. Yeah, no shit.
Oh,
dude. Wait, one last one. I got to give Jeff some love. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is one of my favorite holiday-ish movies. If you've never seen that John Candy classic, go watch it. John Candy, Steve Martin. It's a fucking
not
gem.
the best John Candy Christmas movie.
No.
Home Alone? Home Alone.
Do you really give them credit for the
yes.
one Home Alone?
The Polka Band, 100. Yeah. They're a crux. They're part of the fucking finale. They helped the finish. They're part of the go home moment.
How did I watch Rampage and completely miss it? That I ask myself that every Friday. Every Friday, I'm like, why did we stay?
Because it's the SmackDown post show at this point.
Planes, Trains. Yes, it was parts of it for sure. It was Tommy Boy before Tommy Boy was Tommy Boy.
Shnikes. Now you see what I have here is a nice AEW Rampage, and then I pet him and stroke him, and then I.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, on that wonderful.
We're going off the rails.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is our show. We are not scheduled to be here this weekend, but if something changes, click that little bell so you don't miss it. Plus, check out our socials, because if anything changes, it will be there as well. But we appreciate you for being a part of this. The fact that 62 people just listened to us talk about our favorite Christmas movies in October is amazing. But we will be back. We continue to watch more live wrestling than anybody else out there. And we are the most unbiased, unscripted, unruly watch along out there. We appreciate all the love, all the support, and have a wonderful weekend if we don't see you.
I almost want to ask you your favorite, Halloween movie and everything, but maybe we have to save that for members only before Halloween and everything.
Yeah, let's do that then.
We'll go to another 2 hours here, but our shit is real, our shit is raw, our shit is authentic. When you're talking about that rest, you better put that full life with it.
All right, folks. Happy weekend, happy Friday, and until next time, we will see you on the flip side. Yippee-ki-yay, mother.